fellow watchers of the signs of the times. Oh, I like to share this. Appreciate y'all sharing all that like and subscribe and all that good stuff. Today I'm going to talk about watching for the signs, being a sign watcher, bad times. Usually, there are a lot of hints before the bad times. Aren't there usually a couple hints every now and then we get a good hint? Sometimes we listen, sometimes we don't. Good morning, Sharon. Good morning, Brother Tom. You see, so I found out some things about Pompeii I didn't know. Did y'all go see the movie? I didn't see the movie. I went to the exhibit. They had the exhibit, and I remember it in history class, the exhibit down in Philly. But, and I think I heard something that kind of blew me away yesterday, but I didn't think about it. Well, it blew me away yesterday. I didn't think about it when I was down in the exhibit talking to the presenters. Pompeii, some very interesting things happened prior to Pompeii, Mount Vesuvius blowing the hell up. There were a few hints. There were just a few gods. It's not funny. It's not, I don't know why I laugh. Why do I laugh at stuff like that? I don't know. I guess I look back and I just think, man, why do we keep going this way? Why can't we turn around? Why can't we like look at the signs? See the big volcano in the back, like, hey, this is probably not the place to be. This probably might be a place we want to avoid. All right, I'm off talking. Let me go find YouTube. How's everybody doing? Good morning, Tina. Good morning. Oh, fine. Baseball signs. Well, you know. Yeah, there you go. Trying to say Mount Vesuvius was like, hey, y'all get the hell out of here. The pitcher throws the pitcher. Hey, listen to the signs. Y'all work together. Work together. Sometimes nature will pass us a hint or two. We can listen to it. You might get hit by a speeding ball or a lava rock. I don't know. All right, hang on. Let me go find YouTube. I gotta concentrate when I type the forced labor world, slaving the human race. We need to free humanity. I love that name. Old friend of mine came in. Free humanity. That's what we need to do. That's what we constantly, that's all I think about. Freeing humanity. Freeing humanity. Humans should be free. Okay, YouTube should be fixed. All right, free humanity. You need to free the human race. Humans aren't meant to be enslaved. No, YouTube. Oh, YouTube. Okay, hang on. Let me go check it out. Hang on. Who told me that? Here, I got my comments in a couple different sections. You know, it's a temporary thing. YouTube, you might want to subscribe on Facebook. Facebook, you might want to subscribe on YouTube. This ain't gonna last for long. Especially the stuff y'all send me. Oh my goodness. All right, there we go. No, YouTube is up. Okay, YouTube is blank. They just didn't say anything yet. All right, there we go. We're good. We're good. Facebook up here. This is all temporary. The stuff y'all send me, I'm required to talk about. I'm required. That's just how it works. How it works when you got 7 billion family members. You gotta look at the signs, and every now and then people send you email signs. Sometimes the signs come in emails. They don't just come out of volcanoes. It's not just lava and smoke. Sometimes it's an email. A WikiLeaks email. Some of y'all know what I'm talking about. That was floating around yesterday. I try to go on WikiLeaks and I try to look at what people are or what they post, the information being sent to the CIA's WikiLeaks, releasing information, getting us to turn on the CIA and say we don't want to do this government thing anymore. Almost there. All right. One came out yesterday, and I had never read it till yesterday. Well, I didn't even read it. I didn't have to read the whole thing. I just saw the top of it, and I was like, oh, damn. I was like, oh, damn, Sister Patricia and Brother Al used to talk about this all the time. And I believed it when they said it, but I just, you know, such things, right? Like, I'm not really surprised, but I saw it, and I was like, oh, boy. Let's see what the Americans think about this WikiLeaks. You know what I'm talking about? And it's not new. It's been out there for a minute. Anybody know what I'm talking about? The most important WikiLeaks to everybody in America, all 240 million of them, and anybody being bombed by America, and they need to let the Americans know who actually runs their nation. Anybody know? Anybody? Y'all? Bueller? Good morning, Brother Augustine Bueller. I'm gonna say good morning to people so y'all know what I'm talking about. Nothing's gonna tear us apart. Yeah, no, well, Tina, nothing's gonna tear us apart, but something trying to. Something's trying to. Something. There's a force in this world. I'm talking about the WikiLeaks on 9/11. Did y'all see that? Did anybody pay attention? Anybody looking? Anybody seeing the signs? As if you didn't know from the USS Liberty. Anybody know? I know every time you hear that word, you just say, false flag. No, when the volcano start throwing up some smoke, you're not supposed to say false flag. When the volcano start throwing up some lava, you're not supposed to fight the false flag. You're supposed to sit back and say, what is a false flag? What does that mean for me? Is somebody trying to tear me apart? Somebody trying to tear apart the U.S. government from the citizens. All right, there's a WikiLeaks on 9/11. That's what I want to say. We don't know, Gerard. You don't know, Laura? Yes, you do. Assange can quite possibly control opposition. Well, he could be controlled opposition, Brother Michael. But if WikiLeaks released a WikiLeaks that said Mossad was behind, it was a British intelligence release that said Mossad, Israel's Mossad, was behind 9/11, trained the terrorists, which is what we know the CIA does. So now I'm not hitting Mossad. I'm not saying that. I'm not saying there's anything wrong, but Mossad is doing their job. Like the CIA does their job, like the FBI does their job. You know, the whole point of British intelligence was warning America, letting them know we know who was behind it. and keep in mind, let's keep in mind, because I know I still got Assange is controlled opposition people, which is fine. I'm fine with that. Y'all be anything you want to be. I'm wave energy. I just look at things and I'm just like, damn. Israel killed 3,000 American citizens. But what Mossad did, let's not just say Israel. It's not the Israel people you got an issue with. That's family over there. That's all family over there, just like in Palestine and the West Bank. We just got these crazy governments that agree on domination and control of us. Like I was looking at, what was I reading this morning? Last night and this morning, I was reading Critics, like Plato myself, like Plato, wasn't finished. But I read it for the second or third time. I forgot how many times I read it. It was interesting. There was one part in there that talked about how all the kings were united. They had to come to each other's aid to maintain the bloodlines. Why? Because all of your governments agree on one particular point. You are not them. You will be dominated. You know, so when I talk about governments, I talk about all of them. It's not just one of them. Oh, the other thing got on my last nerve is damn Notre Dame. All right, I know I'm pissing people off today. Pissing people off with this Notre Dame thing. Don't listen. I'm sorry. I love you. I do. You can pray for Notre Dame all you want. That's not my take on Notre Dame, baby. That's not my take. You see any tears in here? You said, look, hear a tear in there? Man, ain't no tear, and I damn sure ain't praying for no brick. Buildings in other nations burying kids under the rubble, and you can't get people to get some outrage and a tear and a prayer for the children in Yemen. The French government and the colonization all over Africa and Latin America. Can't get none of that. Go and ask me for a tear for Notre Dame. Ask me for a tear. Somebody ask me for a tear. See if you get one. See if you get one. You might get a bird back. Nah, I don't hate Notre Dame either. I believe in history and I love these sites. But there's just a reality. And that is if you allocate significant amounts of your resources to murdering people and colonization and not taking care of people, and you put your money towards war and devastation and destruction and not culture and people evolving, guess what? Bad things happen. You could have took all of that money and restored Notre Dame a long time go. That white me, but why I called Notre Dame? I read as a kid Notre Dame. Notre Dame. Damn. It's a damn shame. Damn shame what happened to that building. Y'all didn't take care of it. You got a bourgeoisie, people yelling and screaming in the streets of France. I want some damn food and a baguette and some fresh, clean water. They can't get that. That's what happens when you get a bourgeoisie. And America ain't no different. So this ain't no swing on Notre Dame. Ain't no swing on Notre Dame. Look at this. Is the Statue of Liberty catch on fire today? And my neighbor come out and say, yo, we need to pray for the Statue of Liberty. I'm like, hand. Look, right there, you can pray all you want. You can. My heart and my prayers are for children and human beings. You are not gonna get it from no damn brass from France. It came from France, didn't it? Then they gave us a statue. It was about liberty. Ain't no damn liberty in America anywhere. In America, taking everybody's liberty any chance they get. What's another symbolic thing that we got? Implied besides the fact that Pope and the Catholic Church, you know how many people they didn't murder? They might have murdered more people in America. I'm not sure. I think America probably got them beat. America catching up to malaria. So I'm not interested. All I'm saying is watch the signs, people. Watch the signs. Watch the signs. I will take you to Pompeii. Check this out. Pompeii. People dead, died. Tried to pass you a hint. When you see smoke and lava bombs, you're supposed to do something, and it ain't supposed to potty. Because that's what happened. That's what blew me away. Let me show you the beginning of this. I guess I kind of remember it. But it's just funny what you remember in time and the things that kind of stick in your memory. And this is one that popped out to me. I was perusing, trying to edumacate myself. Yes, I said edumacation. That's an M in there. Because I don't care about your King's English nor his spelling. I was watching this the other day. I'm gonna show you the first clip of this, and I'll post a link so you can watch the whole thing. But there was something significant that happened prior to the volcano blowing up Mount Vesuvius, murdering and killing all these people. Because as a kid, you know, I think we always were taught that it was an accident. It just kind of happened, Mother Nature. Crazy, she don't give you no warnings like a wife. Y'all like a husband. Like, yeah, y'all, man, I pick on married people a lot. I love y'all to death, but I pick on y'all a little bit. Like, you know when your husband had a bad day at work. You know when not to say nothing to him, right? He come home, got that briefcase. People still carry briefcases. Got that laptop bag, some boots or something, slam him on the ground, push him over there, hit the wall or whatever, and you just like, oh boy. He ain't cut the grass, he ain't take the trash out, and he ain't fix my car. But you know what? Today ain't the day I ain't gonna mess with him today. I'm gonna leave him alone. I understand he didn't have a bad day of slavery today, so I'm gonna be nice to him. I ain't gonna mention that, right? Look at the signs, watch the signs. Your wife come home. Boss been picking with her. She come home, take her purse, push it over there, knock something down, and don't even pick it up, just leave it on the ground like you, and you kind of know, oh Lord, this just ain't the day. She ain't been giving me nothing about a week, 2 now, and I think she forgetting that this is what marriage is about. We're supposed to be 2 becoming 1, but today is I just not gonna be 2. We're gonna be 2 today, because I ain't gonna mess with her today. She didn't have a bad day. Look the signs, that's all I'm saying. Watch the signs. Watch the signs. Don't party when oligarchs run your planet. Now is not the time for festivals when the bourgeoisie run your government. Watch the signs.
That the most disturbing part of the eruption of Mount Vesuvius in 79 AD was the sheer suddenness of Pompeii's destruction. But while the town's destruction was unspeakably tragic, the speed at which it happened wasn't nearly the worst thing about it. 2 festivals happening in the town at the same time meant the tragedy at Pompeii ended up so much worse than it should have been. According to the book Pompeii, an archaeological guide, the Pompeians were in the middle of a multi-day celebration in honor of the Emperor Augustus. Known today as the first emperor of the Roman Empire, Augustus had...
What did he say, Emperor Trump? I'm sorry, what did he say, Emperor Macron? What did he say, Emperor Obama? What did he say, Emperor Bernie? What did he say, Emperor who? They was partying and celebrating their gods, their leaders, their lords, that worship their golden calves. They're worshiping their bringers of signs from the gods, their leaders. Is it like it's a volcano? Oh no, Bernie 2020! Come on, 2020! It's not funny. It's not how many people died in Mount Vesuvius. How many people on the planet about to die because y'all sitting here partying, cheering for your leaders and the signs from your gods?
Had died 65 years earlier and had just been made a god, as
dead.
well as having the month of August named after him. Pompeii's streets were filled with public celebrations, including street musicians, fortune tellers, plays, and athletic events. Many of those performers and athletes came from outside Pompeii to take part in the event, as
I didn't spent my money. I didn't did a, what y'all call them things when y'all get together with the sports? Y'all go get all your cars and your Winnebagos, get everybody together. You go get all your beer, you drink, you're going to the game. What do y'all call them things? What y'all call them damn things? You know, had was going to Pompeii. Nah, we going to Pompeii. We got to celebrate Augustine. We got Augustus. We got to celebrate trail. What do I call them? Trail something. I never did one in my life. What do they call it? Trail parties. What y'all, you know what I'm talking about? When y'all get all in your cars, you got your beer and everybody drunk. Got the wife hanging out. She throwing abroad everything like she like back in the 60s. Tailgate, yes, tailgate. We done had, no, we done went to Pompeii. We done had a tailgate party. We in Pompeii, baby. Daniel hit that one. I ain't going nowhere. That mount's supposed to do that. This the celebration of, what was it, Volca something? That's just the volcano god, just puffing and smoking. That's just Trump playing 3D chess. That's just Obama doing some hokey changey. That's not oligarchs that control every damn thing. Oh, ain't nothing, don't even worry about it. We good, baby, we good, yeah. The Notre Dame just burnt down. They don't even pay attention to that. You know, they're putting all the money where they need to do the restoration the right way. They're putting enough resources and maintaining our history while destroying and colonizing. Y'all don't pay attention to that. We at the party, y'all. Come on. Yeah.
did the visitors and tourists who came to see them. We can't know exactly how many extra people were in the town at the time of its destruction, but it is certain a lot more lives were lost than might have happened if the eruption had happened a month later. Even worse, the day before the eruption was Volcanalia, the festival of the god Vulcan, otherwise known as the god of fire and volcanoes. It wasn't so much that the people of Pompeii didn't get a warning that Mount Vesuvius was going to erupt, because there definitely would have been smoke, small earthquakes, and loud rumblings at the very least. It was more that because of Volcanalia, they would have interpreted these signs as good omens from the god rather than the warnings to get out of Dodge. As far as
good omens, good omens versus bad omens. Do you know what a good omen looks like? What is an omen anyway? Omen and an almond, they both start with, the almond start with an A. What else start with an O? Because an omen is usually, when it's bad, that usually is a time that you're supposed to get out and Dodge. You're kind of supposed to think about this thing. Like, you know what? I don't know. I'm gonna give you an example. Here's an example. If I was at a party, and this happened in college, often way too much, and you was at a party and everybody at the party had fun, get it, girl, yeah, everybody, woo, party! Everybody swinging around, everybody's at the party having fun. You at the fraternity house, the sorority house, yeah, it's thick in here. I can't even walk around with people rubbing on my butt and everything. Oh, guys getting a little nasty butt. And all of a sudden, what's the lights out front? What the hell is that? Is that, and then police lights? You in the party like you the only one seeing it. You got your beer, you drinking, y'all partying. And then police lights? Did you tell everybody? Did you? Are you like, you know what? The police out front, we're all underage, we're all drinking, having fun, the music's too loud, and it's more than one squad car out front. Do you stay in the party? Do you pour more beer? Do you go back to the keg? We used to have jungle juice. It was like a trash can. The Africans, they like get the trash can. We weren't too smart as kids. And they put the trash bag in the trash can and they just start dumping alcohol in there with Kool-Aid and rum and this, that, fruit juice and everything, and everybody just got a cup. Is it time to go back to get a cup when you see the lights outside? Or time to say, you know what? That might be a bad omen. I'm only 20 years old and I'm in America and there's no freedom here and I'm not supposed to drink. And my mom and dad paying for me to be in college. I'm actually supposed to be at the library right now. That'll sober you up real quick if you're paying attention. That'll sober you up from the party. But I think there might be a worldwide issue we have with feeling good, looking at bad omens and calling them good. Like, oh, the police is here. Yeah, y'all look at the police, they didn't came to party, y'all. Oh, Good morning. Hey, listen, I see people coming in the house. I see some sharers that share things where I appreciate you sharing. Who was that? Linda. Appreciate everybody who shared. I kind of do this, and it's just kind of examples. Like, dude, is Yemen a bad omen? I don't know. Somebody tell me. Are any of the WikiLeaks releases bad omens? Somebody tell me, because I'm not sure. Is having a police state a bad omen? I was on Chris Hedges yesterday, boy. He done gave it to. Did y'all see that interview Chris Hedges had? Man, I'm not going to go back to the whole foxhole points. I'm not going back there. I'm just simply saying that when the greatest minds of your time, philosophers, are telling you this is a bad omen, that an empire always murders its people, pretend it's like a volcano going on. When the people of your time, he said so many profound, who saw it? Laura, you saw it? He said so many profound things. Y'all got sick of me yesterday. I couldn't help it. I got to get the information to the people. I was watching this. It's like, did you hear what Chris said? Like, boat out, boom, boom, boom. I was firing the quotes out. Ron Paul, everybody, Jesse Ventura, all I'm telling you, y'all need to chill with that whole Assange's controlled opposition nonsense. This is not the time, baby. It is not the time. The volcano is hot. Just like the stove. Just like the stove. Whatever happened? Y'all remember the kid who never learned that the stove is hot and he just kept touching it? You ever heard the kid at the time like, oh, the stove is hot. Ah, ooh, it's hot. The stove is hot. Ah, ooh, it's hot. The stove is hot. Ah, you just trying to make some SpaghettiOs so you can trying to make some SpaghettiOs so you can have your little lunch and like the stove is hot, but people keep touching it. And it's like, that's an oligarchy, but you keep voting. Ah! Oligarchy keep voting. Ah! Bourgeoisie keep voting. Ah! You know, instead of getting your yellow vest and getting in the street. I think the signs of the times always come, but I guess in that example, they got this Hollywood thing going. They got this Nollywood thing going. They got this Bollywood. Yeah, anybody seen any consistencies in any of that? Like they didn't bother to name us anything different. And it just felt like a party. Everything's good. So many good movies and TV shows to watch. So much great entertainment. You just done did a tailgate with the human race for the last 5,000 years to get to such technological advancement times where you could be lazy, sit your butt on the couch, get a beer and watch TV and just play some poker or something with your friends. Eating potato chips. You don't have to grow potato. They had no idea how to grow no damn potato. You know, you just put the potato in the ground, right? Just get a quarter of it, get the eye, make sure the eye. Make sure the eye is up. But got the potato chips, ain't got the salsa, don't even know what a tomato look like. Just get in the salsa. Because we done went through some hard times. We done had that tailgate party for the human race to at a spot where we could just be as ignorant as we want to be. Ignorant and happy in the festival.
As the townspeople cared, these warnings were simply signs that Vulcan was busy at his forge inside Mount Vesuvius, perfectly happy that everyone was celebrating his special day.
We're in Pompeii, and it's Volcano Day.
It wasn't just the timing of the festivals as...
All right, I'm done with that. I'll post a link. Y'all can watch the whole thing. I'm just saying, are we paying attention to the signs? Usually, if you don't pay attention to the signs of the times, you become a victim of the times. One of the signs of the times, I'm gonna take y'all back, y'all. I'm not trying to talk about Assange on every single broadcast, but there is nothing more important right now we need to think about than the fact that we always seem to have signs that come out that tell us this might be a bad idea for us not to have a free press. Might just be we don't really know what's coming. We don't have people processing that, Tina, that is Volcano Day, the Volcano Day and the puffing and the smoking, that's not good omens. That WikiLeaks telling you that Mossad was behind 9/11. Like, does that concern anybody? Anybody at all? Anyone? The British intelligence, are they intelligent? Let me see if I take you to. They'll probably shut this mess off. Why? They not gonna play. They like, he ain't going there. Now you gonna talk about the real reason why they got Assange in prison, and it ain't because of no girl in Switzerland, and it ain't because of no password and Seth Rich, it ain't or Manning. It ain't because of none of that. They got that man there for one damn reason. He done told you the truth. Look at that. They ain't gonna let me show. Nope, nope. Hell no. You ain't showing that. Look at that. You can only see part of it. Oh, wait. No, maybe that's me. Hold on. That's me. Now, I know. Yeah, I'd like to be honest. It's not the CIA. The CIA, I think we got good people in the CIA. I think we got good people in some of these organizations looking out for us. But here it go right here. Here it go. You can read it if you want. But I mean, not you people that's controlled opposition people. You probably don't want to read it. You know, you can't even see the whole thing. What it says is analytical and intelligence comments. Mossad ran 9/11, Arab hijacker terrorist operation. And then kind of like a sign or something. Is that like a hint? Yeah, I'm pretty sure the CIA told Assange he needed to release that, but it was an email and it tells you who it came from, what went out. I just think that this might be a bad idea. And to me, but it's not like amazingly new information. This is why I think this stuff comes out. It's not amazing and new. We known for a long time. You known from the USS Liberty that they were willing to deploy false flags. Why? Because they work. They work. That's just a simple truth. It's not an anti-Mossad, anti-Israel, anti-Semitic, anti-Zionist, anti-Japan with non-king, anti-American CIA operation, anti-Gladio and Mockingbird, and all of these games that they play with our intellects. Not anti-anything. It's just perhaps maybe, we need to look at the signs of the time. Perhaps maybe we're just a little too gullible. Perhaps maybe we should think about it might be a bad idea to be the people behind me. It might be. For once, can we have that just one time? Can one time we not be those people, y'all? It's just one. This time, hey, y'all had next time. Next time we could just ignore all the signs and continue to fight each other and get the black-white fight and the West Bank, Palestinian, Israel fight. You join that side, Christians on that side. But basically what they're trying to tell you is the volcano is puffing. It's just like, we need the Americans to hate the Muslims. We're gonna get the Americans to hate the Muslims. So I got an idea. What do you say we knock down a couple American buildings and shoot some missiles at the Pentagon? Which is actually a deep thing, because there's still people who deny this. You've had a general, what was his name? The general came out and told you that no, an airplane did not hit the Pentagon. That was a missile. But we don't listen. We just ignore the whistleblowers. We just at the party, just yeah. Ignore the volcano. It might be a bad sign when he was a brigadier general. He wasn't like a little general, he was a big general. They got these people coming out and telling you that your government does not take your human life at all as a priority. I think that might be a sign, that might be a hint. That might be a hint that you might not want to go out there and keep voting for this thing. It just might be. All right, I'm off and running my mouth. But that was interesting to me. There are a couple other things interesting I was watching, but I think that's important. It's why Sister Pat was thrown off of Twitter. They threw her butt off. They're like, hell no, she knows and she's talking about it. And that's why they got Assange in prison. So you can think about it any way you want. And it's the reason why Obama and Trump are very nice to Israel. And it's not because they're Christian. It's not because they're Christian. I got Brother Johnny always comes around here talking about Christians did that, Christians did that, Christians did this, and Christians. I was like, you know what, Johnny? You have no idea. A Christian is somebody that follows Christ. Right? Now, I'm going to tell you, I'm going to be honest with you. Y'all not going to like it, but the truth is that you ain't never had a Christian president on this planet. You ain't never had one. You ain't ever going to get one. You keep acting up like this. It's someone it's someone who gives you the shirt off of their back. When you have a Christian president or Christians in Congress or Senate, I know they all go to church, all of them. I know they all. They all go to church, but ain't none of them know Christ. Not nil one of them. None of them, well, I'll be nice. Not nil one of them are trying to be Christ-like. You don't have Christian anything anywhere in the American government. I'm sorry you don't, because Christians aren't killers. Christ didn't murder people. You know what Christ did when you showed up? If he had a robe, take the robe off, you take my robe. Walk around here bucket naked. All right, people don't like that one. I know. If you needed some food, what'd he do? Gave you food. If he walked up to your wall, what did you do? You gave him a house and food. If they needed some water, what'd you do? If they were blind, did you give them health care? Did you give them eyesight back? That's what I'm saying. Ain't no one of them. I can hit it both ways. I hit it both ways. I hit the left, I hit the right, because Honesty is just honesty. That's the only way we get out of the mess we're in, is being honest with people. All right? Very few people will ever be anything like Christ or even try to be like him, and he told you that. Don't believe the people because they say I know most people lying the first time they come out and they try to use somebody else's integrity to get me to trust them. First thing they say, "Are you Christian too?" I'm like, "Oh, you just a demon, ain't you? You just got that tail, tucked it in your skirt or something." No, you will not be coming in my house, demon. We will not be friends. I will not let you take the integrity of a man 3,000 years ago and make me a fool. All right, I'm gonna look at comments. I feel good. Here's the point of this. The point is, look at the signs of the times. Be able to determine what is a good omen and what is a bad omen. Don't let your emotions do that. Let your intellect do that. When your emotions take over, they break you. That's how they break intellectual people. They break intellectual people by making them emotional. Pompeii being a great example. Well, I guess I'll mention other things and then we'll look at the comments. Oh, thank you for sharing, Rebecca. You shared, I'm going to read your comment, girl. That's right. They got to share everything. That's how I'm going to be a bad guy. I'm going to prioritize the people that are serious. Atrocities are human actions, although divine actions also are on the spectrum of human behavior. Absolutely. Atrocities, you know what, Rebecca? I'm going to go further than that. I'm going to go a little further than that, sister. Atrocities are always human action in technologically advanced times. And the reason why I say that, it's not that climates don't change, and it's not that asteroids don't fall, it's not that comets don't come, it's not that every 6,000 years the planet's destroyed. In technologically advanced ages, when you can stop these things from happening, when you can protect the human race, when you can provide for people, when you can give them water and a house and a car and shelter from the asteroid and the rain and fire raining down, you can put them on a boat and move them away instead of dancing at the party. Nature does what it does. It just always rotates. I think in the day of Pompeii, they had boats. They could have got out of there if they chose to. It was a human disaster. It's human ignorance because the humans could have saved each other, but they were off in God, volcano land, and whoever Augustine worshiping their leaders. In our time right now, every disaster that occurs is our fault. We got the resources to pull ourselves out of everything. We got the resources to protect everybody, and we don't. We have the resources to feed everybody. So I agree with you. I'm gonna go a little further. There are no natural disasters. They're just ignorant disasters. There's no natural disaster. Just all ignorance. All of it. If you know that there is some powerful organization out there internationally that is using the American government to actually kill its people and hide it and cover that information up, I mean, think about it. The 9/11 information. See, because we thought they hid it and they didn't want to declassify. Obama said, what did he say? I'm going to declassify the 9/11 files and let everybody know because they done killed some American citizens. I'm going to let everybody know. And Obama read that report. See, I thought he read it because the news, they play with your mind, I thought he read it and it said Saudi Arabia was behind 9/11. No, that's not what he read. That's what I thought he read. Why? Because the news at the time made us think that. Why? Because they're like, oh, the American people are going to sue Saudi Arabia. You know what Saudi Arabia was? A patsy. Obama was reading that thing, he looked and said, oh, Lord have mercy. Let me see. Now, what do I do? This is what I'm saying. I don't blame Obama and I don't blame Trump. I don't blame none of them. I think he was reading that report. He's reading the classified document he's supposed to be sharing out to people, declassifying, campaign promise, and he read it, said, Mossad did 9/11. Oh, Lord. Michelle, yeah, you can have to come here for a minute. Let me see. Who do I want to kill me first? Do I want to tell the American people and have Mossad kill me? Because I know the CIA work with them, and I know my bodyguards, security work with them. They can take Sasha, Malia, and Bo and throw them in the volcano, and myself, and I'll probably be last. Or do I keep it classified and pretend it's somebody else? Pretend somebody else did it in this way, because Saudi Arabia can't get to me. They don't have operatives in my CIA. They don't have half of the politicians in Washington with dual citizenship to them. This is how it goes. It's a hint. You know, and they say, yeah, because Obama, he bombed people, he's a killer, he murdered, he was horrible. And then Trump came in. Did Trump declassify it? Did y'all see that? Did I miss an email? Did I miss a news report? Did Trump declassify? Now consider this and think about this. 3,000 Americans were murdered on 9/11. 3,000. And then 5 million innocent people afterwards in the conflict, from U.S. soldiers, troops, Navy, Air Force, to poor kids in countries that have oil. And Trump didn't release it either. That should tell you everything you need to know. All that nationalist stuff, y'all can stop with that now. Y'all can stop with that. All of that Democrat, Republican stuff. You can actually look at the volcanoes like, damn. You know, you can say, you know what? Maybe I'm gonna stop dancing. Just maybe I'm gonna turn the music off and I'm gonna actually pay attention to the signs that we got an oligarchy that's running all of this, and American presidents don't make any damn decisions. Maybe, just possibly, maybe Ocasio at the age of 17 cannot change the direction. Somebody posted on the thread the other day, they said Bernie gonna fix it. Bernie and us gonna fix it. I said, Bernie and us? I said, who the hell is us? Us? What's this Bernie? Does Bernie have a military? Does Bernie have like weapons and M13s and Raptors and guns and tanks? Can they actually take on the international zillionaires that control the American United States Armed Forces that had nothing to do with the United States? Does Bernie have that? And who is us? Does Bernie have? Because I believe Martin Luther King. I'm honestly on his boat when he said one simple truth, big time, big time. He said a lot of things that are true, but big time. He said you either gotta have the numbers, the people, you gotta have the masses, the vast majority, we gotta have the money to make the change. That's it. That's it. I threw military in there because Plato said that. I do that in because Plato said when you have an oligarchy, that's why I listen to Plato. The only way to stop an oligarchy is revolution. I do my best to avoid that particular conversation, because just even having that conversation that throw you in prison, because I don't live in a free country. I live in a police state. But those two simple things. And besides the fact, when you talk about a violent revolution, Plato didn't have the historical records that every violent revolution failed, because eventually the people who won still used the force of rule to create new rules over the people, and they began to oppress again. We keep failing. You cannot have a violent revolution. You can only have peaceful. So two things. You got the numbers, the masses, and the people, and that's peaceful, but you got the money. Bernie ain't got the numbers. Damn sure ain't got the money. So what is he going to change? Not a damn thing. And that's just the truth. I know you don't want to accept it. You don't want to look at that volcano and say that's not smoke. That's what my flat earth friends say. That's not smoke. That's a hologram. That's a hologram. That's not even really real. That's not the volcano. That's just a hologram. That we actually going to fix this, and it's not. We only can fix it in great numbers. And how do we get great numbers? We stop fighting with other people because we were born different than what they were. And we realize that this volcano don't give two damns about the color of your fur. The volcanoes that's coming don't give two damns about your political party nor your opinion. You will not get a bunker key. They don't care. And one of the things that Chris Hedges, and I might have to pay a little attention to Chris Hedges today. A little more. I might play the interview. The interview was powerful. Powerful. I think it was only about 7-8 minutes. Hackers exposing everywhere. When hackers exposing stuff everywhere. Research. Well, yeah, as hackers are exposing it everywhere, Ellen, I think then this is why I'm okay with the Assange arrest, because I think it's allowing us to now have this discussion. It now is allowing the additional things that WikiLeaks might be holding against the war engine, because that is actually what they've been doing. Now, they might be getting money from Soros and all that stuff that y'all want to say, but if they're giving information to us saying that we have a war engine that's not actually controlled by anybody in the United States, I think we should probably listen up. And so it's a good thing, because we can now have this conversation. Not if we should be worshiping Assange or hating Assange, but whether or not we should be free to look at the volcano, do the research, and say, you know what? I'm not sure this plan is heading in the right direction. I'm not sure bankers ruling everything is probably going to be a great world to hand to our children. Let me see. I see more shares. I like people who share. I like shares. Don't be scared to share. Don't be scared to share. Leakers more than hackers coming from the inside. Well, right, Lori, and this is why we say there are whistleblowers all over. There aren't just the whistleblowers who put their life, their body, their, in harm's way. They're the quiet whistleblowers. And I think there are more quiet whistleblowers than not. And that's the power of a WikiLeaks type organization in allowing the quiet whistleblowers, the ones like the secretary. Secretary, I always go back to my friend Donna here. The secretary, she's the pretty one in the office, and she just kind of in there in the NASA office, and the guy come over and lean to her, hey, you know what? There's structures on the moon. Can I buy you a coffee? I'll tell you all about it. What you gonna say? What she said? The secretary said, oh, yeah, Donna. Okay, I'm gonna go. She don't go down. I'm gonna get in trouble talking about Donna. Listen, the structures on the moon, here the pictures, aliens, we done been there and this, that, and the other. We had other civilizations probably got destroyed and we made it to the moon, but they got wiped out because the poles flipped and we all died and washed everything away. And we came back, all the ancients that wrote all this stuff is true, and the CIA hid it and the Adam Even story. And it's crazy, you wouldn't believe the reality that we live right now. All these Pompeii supervolcano things happen all over the planet. They dig down ancient archaeology, they find these things, they don't tell us. Those are most of the whistleblowers, but they need a mechanism, right? Most whistleblowers are Donna Harris. They're not going to come out and say, kill me, I'm going to tell everybody the truth, and just wait for the sniper to shoot. No, they're going to release it to websites. They're going to release that information, which is part of why I still can't pronounce it. The Japanese or the Chinese organization that makes the secure devices, the secure technological devices that the CIA can't get into, that they can't modify and delete the content going to websites, preventing you from seeing it. They can't get into your computer and use AI to create a false reality, to hide the fact that these volcanoes always blow up, to hide the hints for big corporations that tend to run them. Very important information. I think we need to pay attention. All right, let me go there and see what's happening on YouTube this morning. Y'all done woke up finally. Y'all was over there sleeping for a minute. Good morning. Brother Wayne is in the house. People misplaced and misinformed. You know what they are? Hell no, let it burn. The flag. Brother Wayne, yeah, he's going back to the beginning. We were talking about the whole Notre Dame thing. If you just tuned in late, you're not gonna get no tears. Not when y'all killing children. You're not getting no tears. Not from me. Not when y'all murdering children. When you pay for the Notre Dame's restoration on the murder of other children and stealing the resources from their parents so they can starve to death, you're not getting a tear. You can let all them statues burn down, all the mountains, the monuments, and the Mount Rushmore and all of that. You're not gonna get a damn tear. Not while y'all killing children. Not for me, not for me at all. Let it burn, I don't care. I don't care, I don't care. I don't care, and that's what Wanda said, I don't care. I don't care. You're not gonna get no emotions out of me, not for killers, no, you're not gonna do it. Do you think Jeffrey Dahmer got a tear from me? Do you think I felt bad at all? Like, I look at these situations, I'm like, you know what, he's a psychopathic killer. It's unfair, he probably was abused as a child, I get it. However, we need to protect the world from the Jeffrey Dahmers. There are little kids that need to walk to school without getting eaten and raped. Or raped and eaten. However he did it, I have no damn idea. But if you got killers in government, the bourgeoisie running the French government, and it's, oh, we need to rally behind the government and national pride. And no, let all that stuff burn. I don't care. You are not getting no tears out of me from those damn blocks and bricks paid for on murder and blood money. Not from some psychopaths in your government. Not gonna happen. Let me see. Globalists made the mistake of austerity. They manipulated politics to transfer wealth to the 1%. Now the starving masses are gonna unite and fight back. Yes, they are. Natural process, free speech. Yes, Linda, absolutely. Let me see. The oligarchs bid for the privilege of making the next move. We're not even a chess piece. We're not, right, I like this, hold on. We're not even the chess pieces on the board. Hang on, the oligarchs did for the privilege of making the next move. We're not even the chess pieces on the board. Okay. I think what you're saying, Brother Augustine, is that they planned all of this ahead of time. That none of this is a mistake, which a lot of people here say. None of this is broken. None of this is accidental. That this is actually working the way it's supposed to. That they want us to be buried. They want us to look like this. They want us to be they want us to be buried under ash. Like, they planned out the chess game They knew the currencies would collapse. They knew the societies would fail. They knew the people would be starved. They want to make the money. They're a breakaway civilization. Before we were even chess pieces on the board, it was already decided. And all we're doing is playing out a role they give us. Certain people are born and they're indoctrinated to do what they're told to do. And that's what we do. Like, I was thinking about Augusta this morning. I was thinking about pride. I hate that word. I hate the word. You know why I hate the word pride? Because we're not supposed to have it. We're not supposed to have it. We were taught that a long time ago. But then we throw that away, what we were taught as a child, become adults, become ignorant, and we get pride in things. And we don't stop. It's like, you should be proud of your race. You should be proud of your ethnicity. You should be proud of your country's flag that has nothing to do with you and has everything to do with the billionaires and trillionaires that own it and own you. You should be proud of those things. Pride is a dangerous thing at all times. I don't think there's anything really you should be proud of. I think it's a horrible word. Yeah, wow, this is much faster. Yeah, it looks like the comments are going. Yeah, they are. I'm trying to watch. Jimmy Carter is a Christian. Jimmy also said he was left out of the loop a lot of the time, and the president is not in control. He did say that, didn't he, Patricia? He did say that. Jimmy Carter was, I think he was the first one who said it that I listened to. I'm gonna pause on the Christian part. I don't think he started any wars. I think he was probably trying to be a decent guy. But then again, I don't think the oligarchs had the control, as much as they do now. So I'll say that, and then I'll say in addition, I think he was the first one to come out and say that America is not a functioning democracy. It is not. America is not a functioning democracy at all. At all. And nobody listened. Nobody listened. Nobody cared. How did George Carter say, nobody seemed to listen. Nobody seemed to care. We were still at the party. Nobody's, Hollywood got some good movies coming out. The Game of Thrones just on. And, music's getting better, dancing and singing, enjoying the luxury and the privilege and supremacy of being an American. And I'm not saying don't enjoy it. I enjoy it. We all some sellouts, but we're enjoying the wrong things. Let me see. I'm very proud of my coffee. All right, James Thornton, do you make some coffee? Now I can pester you on both feeds. Yo, Pastor V, wait, who the hell? Hey, James, I know who that is. James, you know what? You got two. You over here too. Y'all funny. Jimmy Carter got, I know who you are. Jimmy Carter got Egypt and Libya to kiss and make up. Jimmy Carter did some great things. He did some great things. I don't talk about Jimmy Carter much. I kind of leave him alone. I don't really say much about Jimmy, but we got to stay focused, though. We stay focused because remember, this is how we fell into the Assange thing with the identity. And remember, the identities mean nothing at those levels of power. I think Jimmy might have been a good guy. I think Trump might be a good guy. I think Obama might be a good guy, but it's just not how the matrix works. It's just not how the world works at those levels. You do what you're told to do or you die. It is that simple. You do what you're told to do or you're smeared or made irrelevant. We got to stop. So I don't want to, fall into that identity. And this is what the anti-Assangers say, which they're right about. They're right about. The people fall into worship too much. The people who are anti-Assange that know that we start to worship identities, the people who are that way, I don't know why they're anti-Assange, but I get what they're saying, right? Because we fall into this worship of the identity. And anything you worship blindly, they'll take over. So you can't worship these people, none of these people. People are just people. There's no good people and bad people, just like Sadhguru said. It's just people. There are no heroes. Exactly, Alan. The minute we say somebody is our hero, we're in trouble. I think, probably let's put it this way. People do heroic things, but there are no heroes. And there shouldn't be. There are no adult heroes. Because the minute you have a superhero, the minute you got your cape and the S and that person speaks for us. That superhero has got our back. What happens? You get a Bernie. That's just how it goes. You get a Trump. You get people who were because think about this. You get an Obama because the people who elected Obama were anti-war. That was a platform he ran on. And guess what? He started more wars than everybody else. The people who voted for Trump, he was anti-war again. Anti-globalist, anti-colonization, anti-international nations and interests controlling the American government. Supposed to be pro-Bill of Rights, Constitution, pro-Christian, and what happens when they get in office? Right. Exactly the opposite. Exactly the opposite. Because once you put on them underoos like we talk about, Once you get them Trump underoos up on nice and tight, when you get them Obama, them Jimmy Carter underoos on time, this is my hero, my representative, gonna represent me. Whoever runs all of this is just sitting there watching like, oh, okay, is that your representative? You're gonna trust whatever they do, huh? You're gonna trust whatever they say, Noam Chomsky, whoever you want, okay. And they might let their message stay true. And this is why they call Noam the gatekeeper, because what he said, I think personally, 95% of what he says is spot on. But he's got that little 5%. It's like, all right, you can say everything you want about war. You can say this, that, whatever, blah, 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 blah. Get all the following and intellectual credit you can get as James Corbett gave him. But when it comes to Federal Reserve, you're going to say positive things. We need a Federal Reserve. We need central banking. And then the people who trusted Noam because he was anti-war now believe, oh, we need a Federal Reserve, and they don't connect the dots. But the reason you have endless wars is because you have a Federal Reserve. That's the main reason America is not a country. It's like a colony controlled by central banks, because they have an unfederal, non-reserve group that runs it. And they got all the money. The politicians, they need the money to be elected, to stay in office and get reelected. Really, it's that simple. Next thing you have is an oligarchy, right? The corporations, they get loans from the Federal Reserve, and that's how the Federal Reserve, they make a lot of the money. The politicians print the money, but they only print the money for the politicians if the politicians are doing what the corporations want. And so how does that equal, where does that end up? That ends up at Chiquita Banana, a damn banana company, or was it US Dole at the time, whatever, you know, can invade and destroy a country and can send hit squads down there to get banana fields to grow bananas. They can murder thousands of people so they can grow some damn bananas. And that was in court. You can look it up. You know, you can look it up. These are the dangers of oligarchy. These are the signs that you want to be paying attention to. This is the Pompeii happening. You know, otherwise, these people right here, that's the next generation. That's going to be your kid. You know, so I look at that, and people, sometimes they see something grim. I don't see anything grim. I see people who gave their lives. So, well, they didn't intentionally give them. But their lives were taken so we can think. Maybe dying for nothing is stupid. Maybe dying for leaders is stupid. Maybe dying for Augusta, who died 65 years before this happened, maybe that's dumb. Maybe humans shouldn't have leaders. Maybe we should be sovereigns that actually lead ourselves, in charge of ourselves. Maybe, perhaps. I think these are signs in the future that we shouldn't give our lives for the gods, because sometimes you get the God wrong. Sometimes you might get the God wrong. Sometimes it ain't a volcano god, it's just a volcano. It's not a volcano god. Just a volcano. Sometimes you get your gods wrong because the CIA keeps the Adam and Eve story from you. So you get Genesis all wrong, when Genesis was a warning and not a creation. It was a warning that the planet always gets destroyed by floods. And maybe that's a bad idea, to continue to fight and be in conflict with other countries, to consume all the resources of the world and hand them to a 0.01% so they can go make a space shuttle and go to the moon or build Elysium and not take you. Leave your nation by the wayside. That's why it's time for national to die. Anyway, let me do comments. Where we at? Brother James, if that's Kelly, you're deleting Facebook. Why are you doing that? He will better do a show soon. Let me see. I disagree. Jimmy was the last human in office. Okay. Well, I'm not saying Jimmy wasn't human. I'm not saying Jimmy was a bad guy. I'm not on pro-Jimmy team. I'm not on anti-Jimmy team, brother. That's Kelly, right? I'm not on any of those teams. I'm just you know what? It's a bad idea to kill people. Bad idea to steal from people. Colonizing people's a bad idea. Oppressing people's a bad idea. Not feeding children, got plenty of food, is a bad idea. And ignoring the signs of oligarch volcanoes while we live in Pompeii is probably a bad idea. That's all I'm saying. Hey, Ish, good morning. All right. Look, God is coming out of the volcano. Oh, wait. No, it's a green screen glitch. Goodness gracious, let me see. Or you like peanuts? All right. Live stream worshipers are out of control. What do you mean by that, Alan? What do you mean? Like people are still making golden calves and worshiping? Perhaps. Absolutely, perhaps. I trust my mama, my husband, my sister, my dogs, and not necessarily in that order. All right, Tina, that's good. I don't trust nobody. I don't trust nobody. I'm Tina. I'm not in the trust space. I don't trust my mama. I love my mama. I don't have a husband and I don't have a wife, so I don't need to trust them. My sisters, Let me see. Do I trust my sister? I like my sister. I love my sister. I trust her when it comes to herbal remedies and natural cures and things like that. If I got a tummy ache, she makes something, I put it in my mouth. But do I trust her to tell me about the deep state and oligarchs? No, I don't. My brothers, no, I don't trust them when it comes to none of that. I might trust them. We got some work to do in the yard. I trust them. We got some things. I trust one brother with electrical engineering, and I trust another brother as a teacher and a chemist and all of that stuff. But when I trust people for what they are trustable with. And a good question is your government trustable with the future of your children? Ask yourself that question. Should your Congress be trusted to continue? Should your Senate be trusted to continue? Should this idea of president and federal government, is it working out for the world, let alone the United States? Is it trusted to be continued, or do we need to go that route of Martin Luther King and do a constitutional convention and reboot this thing and maybe consider things like direct democracy? Maybe consider that all the whistleblowers, we are literally in a whistleblower apocalypse. Maybe the thousands of whistleblowers that are saying that all these organizations and the bureaucracy are jacked up and they're not on the side of anybody in the country. Maybe we need to stop having them. Maybe we need to start removing departments. Maybe we need to go back to sovereignty. Because they say, like, we're talking about Congress and the Senate and the president all day, but they say, who is it? I think it's Tom Woods, if I'm not mistaken. He talks about how the bureaucracy actually has more control in the American government than the actual politicians, that they're a little more tiddlywink and they make a few decisions every now and then, but that a big part of the deep state is the bureaucracy, right? Because they actually make the policies. They're the ones with the guns. They're the ones with the military. They're the ones that are always in office. They're a permanent state. They never go away. The DHS, the CIA, the FBI, what is it? But in the UK it's the MDA, here we got the FDA, and all of these organizations, the EPA, like they have more power and control because they got that long game, right? And so, but these are things that I think we need to think about. Do we trust this bureaucracy to continue on the way it is? Even the live stream messiah stuff is foolish. Are there live stream messiahs, Alan? Oh no. So what's the symbolism in Notre Dame burning? Thoughts? Dee, that's a good question. For me, do I see symbolism? I think I see that if we continue to use the majority of our resources to not take care of people and culture and cherish who we were, to relish our history so a lot of it we don't repeat, and we continue to use resources to destroy buildings in other countries and burn them down but cry for the ones we like, that hypocrisy is going to destroy us all. That's what I think. So I'm not sad at all about it. I've never been to Notre Dame. I don't need to go. I don't really care. Now if the people who love it weren't blowing things up, blowing other buildings up that they didn't revere, that other people revered, they weren't blowing up temples all over the Middle East and other important sites and buildings, and they weren't giving money to ISIS to go blow up Egyptian tombs and statues. Oh, Egypt was in the news too this morning. Y'all see that? I can float over to Egypt if you want, but yeah, they found another tomb. And I love ancient archaeology. Y'all know me, I'm always going back to ancient archaeology. Oh, and before I get off of the Pompeii, I do want to say that in Understand America, you have something called the Yellowstone supervolcano, and the last time I saw a report on that, they said that it will cover the entire United States if it blows under ash, that we are a Pompeii waiting to happen. That might be important to pay into. That might be a hint and a sign that we might want to just, maybe we need to prepare for this thing. Maybe we need to apply more resources to make sure our Notre Dame doesn't blow up and land on all of us. That might be a good idea instead of murdering and killing other people, stealing their land and oil for big corporations. Oh, Egypt was in the news. I always like a little dose of good with the bad. And to me, I don't think any of this is bad. I think all of this is just, it is what it is. Egypt was in the news. Ancient archaeology and looking back is key to the
discovery in Egypt. Archaeologists have discovered some remarkable paintings in a tomb that's more than 4,000 years old. What's in it, though? What have they found? Here's RT's Trinity Chavez
The deserts of Egypt continue to reveal the secrets of a fascinating ancient civilization. Archaeologists have announced the discovery of a tomb that has inscriptions and colorful artwork dating back more than 4,000 years ago. The country's Ministry of Antiquities has unveiled a well-preserved tomb that is thought to belong to a nobleman during the 5th dynasty.
The tomb for a guy named Hui. He was the nobility king, and also he was a judge. The tomb is 4,400 years old, back to the old kingdom.
It's a private high official tomb who lived during the reign of the king Jedkare, the 8th king of the 5th dynasty, almost the 24th century BC. The colors are exceptionally well preserved inside the tomb.
The tomb, a part of a massive necropolis at Saqqara, south of Cairo, stands out for its incredibly distinctive design. The tomb is L-shaped and has a small corridor leading down to an antechamber. Beyond, a larger chamber has walls covered by painted reliefs that show Kui sitting at a table for offerings. The L-shaped tomb's chamber bear inscriptions and colorful reliefs that are so well preserved that the experts excavating the site were able to discern the fingerprints of the tomb's painter. While the archaeologists hope the tomb will give them a better understanding of the 40-year-old reign of Djeker Sissi, Egyptian officials hope the discoveries will help revive tourism that took a hit from the turmoil that followed in its 2011 uprising.
Yeah, so I love it. It's interesting. I think we look back, and that's how we know the future. Like Pompeii in Egypt, we look back and see what our ancestors told us was most important, things that they would draw on the walls, on caves and tombs. But I also know that that's not going to increase tourism. Not for me, because I know you're lying. I know that there was anything in that tomb, they've already raided it. I know they are the tomb raiders, just like Pompeii. Like, it's funny, people think that Pompeii was discovered. You know, Pompeii was never lost. It wasn't lost. There was nothing to discover. The people were buried under ash, and they've been robbing them people since they were buried. Them people have been making tunnels. There are tunnels all over the place. They've been going and finding people running with their gold and jewels and everything, because that's what happens when you have greed. That's what happens when you have a world based in monetary value and metals, and you don't have like a collective society working together. So no, I don't really believe, you know, that they're showing us what's in this tomb. They don't open these tombs live on TV. They don't do live streams. There's a reason why when they open the tombs, they don't say anything to you, because they're looking for something. They're looking for the past. They're looking for ancient technology and how they did all it. They're looking for the scroll so they can give them the CIA, so they can hide the story of Adam and Eve, so they can keep you stupid in conflict with other people. You know, so I think it's a fascinating news report, and I love it. But I'm not confused. I know they got tuning forks they find in these tombs where they use sound to levitate bricks and all the things, and they want to use that technology with a breakaway civilization that seems to be in control of everything.
Reporting in New York, Trinity Chavez, RT.
That was that. So I thought there was something else interesting I thought that popped up in the news. But the biggest tomb robbers are the Egyptologists. They're the biggest tomb raiders. We've known that. That's why they got rid of Zahi Hawass, because he was robbing the tomb. So let me see. That's what they got. The moment when the spire collapsed. Oh, the Alabama law. That was interesting. You know what? Maybe I'm not going to play this.
It's the Lexus exclusive tire event.
I don't know that I care. It's just, there's an example here, but all right, I'll play it.
Petition almost anywhere in the world, but especially here in the United States, is synonymous with corruption. Tonight in Alabama, they're taking it.
All right, hang on, everybody. Can we agree on that? Can we all agree? Because there's some of us who don't agree. Some of us, they agree when it's your politician. They don't when it's theirs. Can we agree the word politician is synonymous with the word corruption? If we can agree on that, man, we can have some great discussions. We can have some great, honest, and truthful talks. But if your politicians are corrupt, but mine are okay. You know, your politicians used to be lawyers that learned to lie to people and then perfected the skill lying to judges for 20 years and became a politician and stopped lying, but mine isn't. Mine was a good lawyer. Mine became a good politician who's not corrupt and a liar. They wouldn't rob tombs in Egypt and rob tombs in Pompeii for greed and power and control. They wouldn't rob their people. They wouldn't take money from big corporations. They wouldn't join the oligarchy. Can we agree all politicians are corrupt, which makes the entire field and the entire art of politicking duplicitous and just something we should evolve out of completely?
To a completely another level. A Republican-controlled state legislature in Alabama is actually trying to pass a law that would make it more okay to steal if you're a politician than if you're just a regular citizen. I know. This sounds nuts. Right?
No, it doesn't
but
sound
it's,
nuts.
look it up. Google Albritton Law, Alabama. Hold on to your hats because here...
And I'm not gonna play it. It doesn't sound nuts to me. They passed a law where the politicians, they can steal up to, was it $6,000 of the public's money, and it's not a crime. But if you steal $6,000 somebody's money, it is a crime. It's not amazing to me. It's not anything new. We have a double set of standards, and we always have. We got a double set of standards for our betters that we worship because we put them on temples and pedestals, and they're our golden calves, and then they're the poor people. It's okay as a politician to genocide 85,000 people or 85,000 children specifically in Yemen. It's wrong as you as a human being to actually be a Jeffrey Dahmer and kill 8 people and eat them. See, it's wrong when you do it. It's okay when they do it. And that's how all of that works. It's wrong for you. Who was that couple? The couple, y'all remember the couple that grabbed all the people and put them in the basement and chain them up? It's wrong for you to have slavery. It's wrong for you to chain people up in your basement, even if they're your kids. It's perfectly okay when the government puts millions of people in mass incarcerated prisons. Slavery is not slavery when they do it. You know, when people are just following their constitutional rights, living their lives peacefully, mind their own business. It's okay to send people into their house, do a home invasion, arrest them and put them in slavery in cages and chain them up. But it's wrong when you do it. So that's not even different. Like that shouldn't surprise anybody. We've had the double set of standards for a very long time, because we worship rich people. And I think we just probably need to say it out loud and just not lie as a collective. I mean, not me. I don't worship rich people. I'm not even sure I like rich people. I don't like what they have. I don't like their cars. I don't like their houses. I love their kids, but their kids need some spankings, and the kids need something. So I used to worship. I'll be honest. I used to worship. I did. I used to want their cars. Oh man, I had the pictures of the cars. I liked the houses. I liked the jewels. You know, I had all of that, but then I grew up. Some of us never really grow up, do we? We worship rich people. Why? Because we love money. We love money. I say it differently. I don't think money is the love of money is the root of all evil. I think money is just evil. It's just evil within itself. It is. I mean, it's not because the thing is bad. It's society that makes everybody need it to live. Everybody needs it for life. Everybody needs it for their kids to stay alive. So you love money. And everybody loves money. I do too, I guess. I mean, you can't really get away from it because you love the thing that it needs. Do you love, y'all posting on that damn nasty okra. Do you love okra? Okay, how you get okra? Yes, some people, they're gonna like that. I grow it. Okay, all right, you got me. You're a gardener, it's different. Do you love potato chips? Do you grow the potatoes? Do you love cars? Do you make cars? Do you go to the country and rob and murder other people for the minerals to make the car? Do you like small electronics? You love small electronics? You love your iPhone? Do you love your Droid? Mm-hmm. How do you get it? Money. So if money provides the things that you love and give you life, we all love it. We have a society that requires that you love money or you die. Now you may not be so infatuated with it that you're okay with keeping it as a society in this monetary model, which is where I think I'm at. I mean, I think it needs to go away. Like I love the thing it provides, and so yeah, I love money, but I want it to go away. I want to get rid of it. You know, it's just like it served its purpose, right? We technologically advanced the world. We now have the technology to take care of everybody. Why are we not doing that? Well, because we want to have more than our neighbor. We want to give our kids more than what our neighbor's kids have. We want them to compete and excel beyond them. And I think it's a mistake. Yes, Stacey, I think it's a lie. I think it's a complete lie. I think money is a lie. I think the monetary side is a lie. I think it's ridiculous. It's ridiculous that the banks don't actually do anything. The people who own them, they literally just said, we're going to print something. Now everybody go in conflict. If you need more, we'll print just enough so you can, a certain percentage of you starve and a certain percentage, can have the rest of them. That's one thing those MMT people are right. The bank, they print the money. There's no value. They provide nothing to society. They just print the money and keep you in conflict. That's it. They print the money. They invent racism. They invent pride. They invent all the things that get you to embrace it, and they control you with it. Currently, more money allows more choices. Right, and that's what it is. And that's the only thing, Rebecca. And I agree with capitalism to the extent that we use crony capitalism to get rid of crony capitalism. We use money to get rid of money. We can build communities and we can do things with money, with choices, good choices, not psychopathic choices. But this is the catch, though. This is the catch, right, Rebecca? The more money you have, the less good choices you make. And that is a true scale. That is just a simple, simple reality. The more money you have, the more you feel to protect it, the badder your choices get. And so we have to figure out how to take money to get rid of money and build a better world for these children so they're not held in oppression like we are. I've never had any and I'm still alive. You never had any what, Stacey? Money or okra? And if I had too many okra, I wouldn't be alive. Let me see. What else we got? More about money is, much about money is showing off. It is, Lori, and that's what Facebook is good for. Boy, I see it all day long. They got that money, they got the new iPhone, they got the car, they got the house, they're going on these vacations. Yay, money! And people die to pay for it. Yeah, I know, it's a good thing, but they get a lot of likes for it. It's interesting. I think it's like it's a show-off thing. It can be a tool to feed people. It also can be a tool to really show off how apathetic you are, how indifferent you are to people who are born in a bad location. Like my biggest problem with money, Lori, it's hard to sleep at night, knowing that I have a comfortable, warm bed, and millions, tens of millions of children don't even have a bed to sleep on. They're sleeping on rocks and dirt. And I'm not okay with that. That's why I attack money every time I attack it. Use it to get rid of it. That's it. Use it to get rid of it. And let's evolve and to get to the Star Trek economy. Anything, everything is better than what we got today. Everything. Because I watch money take some of the most intelligent, intellectual, loving people and just turn them into little apathetic monsters. We live in a system that monetizes everything, so money is how people acquire the things they love. That's it, Estella. That's it. Which means that money, if this is how people acquire the things that they love, they're going to do some really heinous things for it. They're going to look the other way, no matter what happens to children around these world, to have more of it. That's unfortunately the truth. It's that lack, right? And that's what crony capitalism really does. It creates a lack. It creates debt, is the best way to say it. You create that debt, you create a whole lot of slaves. And we're on a slave plantation, but most are quite happy with that because they're doing a little better than everybody else. Hemp houses, yes, there's no question, Brother Kelly, a house that's being built that's not made of a natural material. There shouldn't be one. There should not be one. You know, like there's a reason in our country that, was it 7 or 8 homemakers make all the houses? How stupid that is. There's a reason why 7 or 8 homemakers make all the houses, right? And there's a reason why they call it a mortgage, right? It's because they make them well beyond what you can afford to keep you working so they can make a lot of money. And they're ugly houses too, Kelly. They're ugly. They're just ugly. I'm sorry, y'all. I don't like your ugly houses. I don't like the McMansions. I don't. They're all ugly. They're all basic, boring. They fall apart after 5 to 10 years, where a hemp house is fire retardant. It can last 1,000 years or more. It's smart, it's energy efficient, use less electricity. Instead of these big old ugly stick houses with the same banister, the same damn soffit, and the same damn fixtures. You only had 2 or 3 choices. You go in somebody's house, you already know where to go. Like when I was growing up, Kelly, used to go in somebody's house and it's like, all right, damn it, I'm lost. Where do I go? Now I go in the house, like, show you around. No, you don't have to. I've seen this version 8 times. The bathroom is either right there or it's right there. That's all I need to know. The living room's over there. You only have so many options. I got it. Ticky-tacky. Y'all ever see the movie Weeds? I love the beginning of Weeds. Who's that lady who sung that ticky-tacky song? I can't play it because I get in trouble. The ticky-tacky song, where y'all just got all these ticky-tacky. I posted, you can watch it. Everybody's house is just ticky-tacky. It's just ticky-tacky. You're ticky-tacky. because you raise little ticky-tacky kids, and you send them out to be ticky-tacky, and you put them in this little box. You send them to school, you send them to college, they get their indoctrination, they're told what to be proud of, they're told how to live, they're told who to live with and why to live and what they need, and husband and wife, and the pink Corvette, and the collie, and the 2.5 kids, and you give them a complete lie of slavery of a life, and they go in ticky-tacky, and you take them that ticky-tacky out, and you send them in a ticky-tacky school, and they become a doctor, a lawyer, and they still got the same ticky-tacky, enough that they're just like everybody else, a doctor, a lawyer, the engineer, the computer scientists, whatever. They can all go to lunch and they can all agree in corporate America, and they're all just alike. They all got different jobs, but they're all ticky-tacky, and they all believe in the same things. They like the same things. They want to compete on Facebook. Who can buy the most expensive watch? Who can buy the most expensive car? Who flips their cars every day? And it's just they make these ignorant consumers out of it. But anyway, all right, what we got? I think that was what. Let me see. I think that was it. That's all I had. Let me see. Most are paycheck to paycheck, and that's how it works. That's exactly how it works. It was a scam from the very beginning. Most people live paycheck to paycheck, and America's an extremely impoverished country. But they don't show it, though, do they? They don't show this. I don't know. You show it, Australia. They don't show it here, boy. You just. Boy, they look nice. They smell. They got all that carcinogen cologne on. They look nice, dress nice, drive nice cars. Ain't got a dime, but they look nice. They look great. Boy, you can't tell them nothing, you know. But because they want to perpetuate and hold up this fallacy of how well they're doing. That's the whole ticky-tacky culture, right? The ticky-tacky thing. When they teach it, you know, you're supposed to. This is success. This is success. It's what it looks like and smells like. And to me, that's not success. That's failure. That's complete failure. If your society cranks out clones, you completely fail in society. Your society cranks out critical thinking individuals who are all different and weird towards each other, and they're all like going different ways and creative and making new things and everything, and they don't die because they don't have the money. That's called succeeding as a society. But if you're just making clones for big banks and corporations, that's total failure. There's nothing successful in that. It's total failure. That absolutely nothing about my life depends on money. And that's how we should be, Jasmine. We should be in that space where money doesn't determine, you know, how you live your life or where you live your life. Because money controls people. Like, if you really think about it, say, like, where you live. Most people, you ask them where they live in a house that they can afford. That they can afford, right? It's like, money doesn't control me. What kind of car you drive? The car I can afford. Oh, yeah. Or just outside what they can afford. Money makes all their decisions. How big is your wife's diamond ring? Oh, she's got a colonizer slave diamond, the one that was big enough to afford. 2 months worth of salary, right? Outside of the fact that some little 5-year-old kid was shoved in a hole to go get it. And a town of people were murdered for it. But this is success. This is success. Money controls them. And then you can't. I like freedom. That's probably one of my biggest issues with money is I don't like anything to control me. I like to be an authority of me. That's why I don't like your leaders. I don't like your Democrats, your Republicans. I don't like your government. I don't like any of it. Don't tell me what to do. We can be great friends. You tell me, we don't have a problem. I don't like to be controlled. It doesn't work well with me. It's probably why I'm single. There's a lot of other reasons too, but that's probably why. I just don't, okay, listen. If we agree on this sovereignty thing, we're good, but I don't need no more slavers. I got some genetic issues with slavery. And that money be trying to whip you. Them husbands and wives, you know, the wives, they try to control you. You know, we get along, try to control me, you know, you may not get a pickup. Might call that phone, might text. I don't know. Who's calling? Mr. Charlie. Mr. Charlie, I don't know. All right, let me see. Stacy Holden just tweeted. Whoa, hey, I can't say that. Stacy, what's wrong with you, girl? It's too early in the morning. You taking Tina's role. Let me see. I went really deep into spirit and mother this weekend. Not good brothers and sisters. Our frequencies are very troubled. We need to unite under peace and love yesterday. Yet, Brother Daniel, last week, 8 weeks ago, 8 months ago, 8,000 years ago. We need to stop playing. We need to stop playing human. We need to be human. We need to stop playing like we're humane and actually be humane. My girlfriend and I share our cooking. She feeds me and I feed her. That's called love, Cheryl. That's called love. That is called love, when you take care of each other, look out for each other. And that's what we need to build. We need to build communities. Here you can't donate clothes. All those places sell them for profit. What? That's in Canada, right? Yeah, in Canada, Dee Dee. They don't go to many true free clothing places. Not cool. I donate great stuff, and I know they're selling that stuff for profit. I know what you're talking about. That fudge, making bank office nice people who are blessed enough to have something to give. But you know what? Well, they tried that, like the a lot of the thrift stores do that. I think that's what you're talking about. Here they do it too, where you donate something to them, and they're supposed to give it away. I think they used to give it away, but now they sell it for profit to kind of maintain. And I'm kind of okay with the. Well, my preference is this: you give something to a distributor that gives away to other people, and that can be fixed, right? But somehow they became this. Well, we got to pay the rent, we got to pay the light, we got to pay employees, and this is the whole issue with the monetary society. And so now they were supposed to be not for profit, but now you got the places that are set up that are for profit. You know, this all gets back to money. It all gets back to money because the employees got to eat, they got to have food, you got to have people there, but we can start going that direction. The problem is when you start talking like that, people are like, socialism. And I'm just, you know, the identity government thing kicks in and they don't get it. They don't get that you're just supposed to take care of people. If you have too much, you give it away. And I actually, Dee Dee, here, I blame the churches a lot. I honestly blame the churches a lot. The churches, they got in this weird place where they want to build mega churches and they want to have encrusted gold robes and golden altars, you know, more than they want to actually take care of people. See, I think it's a crime that you got any church with the label on it of a God that's supposed to love people, and you got people starving and dying right outside of them. But usually when you give things away, there should be an internet site for that. One of y'all IT people, y'all should make a website where people can give things away. Like, I don't want this, I'm gonna give it away, but I don't want it to be sold for a profit, and do some sort of exchange. Maybe they pay the shipping and you send it out, whatever it is. Because I know most people who, when they give away a bag of clothes, you can come get it. Bag of shoes or whatever it is, an old piano. There isn't a good way of linking people together and facilitating human activity, humane things. And this is again, my issue with government. Government's not about facilitating human relationships and socially moving forward in love and peace. It's about control and domination and killing people and enslaving them if they don't do what you want them to do. It's about force and control. But if government were a facilitating organization, then that's what they would do. If they were trying to cultivate and facilitate humanity, they would make sure that people can, they facilitate that relationship and connection so people have what they want, so kids in their country don't starve. Did y'all see that thing I posted yesterday? There was a kid who, was a foster kid. Oh man, I can't read it. It'll get some tears. I'm an emotional cat. I don't want to read it. It was a foster kid explaining how they just wanted a mommy and daddy that didn't sell their toys, and they had enough food and they had water and the power didn't go out on a regular basis. I mean, it was heart-wrenching. But it's posts like that, which is why I do this. That's why I get up in the morning. Why I get up in the morning is because we got work to do. We got work to do. We can't have any kids anywhere in any wealthy nations that lack. It's not called socialism. It's called love. It's called love. It's making sure that they have what they need. But it breaks my heart. It breaks my heart. It breaks my heart. That's why I can't read it. I can't show it. I posted it, but I can't. I'm gonna do it here. Y'all get me in one of them crying. I don't want to be that guy. I don't want to be. I was almost that guy once. What was I doing? What was it? I think there were two occasions. Y'all almost got me there. I had to turn the camera off. I don't want to be that guy. The love in my heart is real. It's real. And every now and then it will show itself. Busy buying things you never actually get to own. Right, and that's another part, Beaufont, where they say that the drive-in banks, the tellers, The reason why banks have drive-in tellers is so the cars can see who own them. The cars can know their owners. An egotistical, disgusting world indeed. It is, Daniel. It is, and it's based on debt and control and taking away people's sovereignty and peace in their life when it's profitable. And it's done apathetically on the backs of nations full of people that look the other way, but they'll pray for a Notre Dame's bricks. They won't pray for the people that they've been robbing from for very privileged lives. Strange phenomenon. Give lots of currency away, it never runs out. Well, I don't think that's a strange phenomenon, Rebecca. I think that's karma, right? That's karma. That's something that all the religions, all the scriptures that were made, let's say it right. All the religions that were made from the same ancient scriptures all said karma. They all spoke it. When you give things away, things come back to you. And that's just how it works. When you put out love, you get love back. When you put out hate, you get hate back. When you put out colonization, you get colonization back. When you build walls, other people will build walls. When you are apathetic to people, you expect to get apathy in back. And that's the human condition, you know, but I think that's why those ancient scriptures kind of explain that when you love people, you always get it back. And I don't think it's a phenomenon. I think it is a very real thing. I think when you're putting out positive vibes, positive things come back to you. But when you got negativity, you got hate, you got anger, and you can't control yourself, and you're immature, and you're outraged, flipping out, and whatever, that comes back to you too. I think we're all the same creature, Rebecca. It's a weird thing, but I think we're all the same creature. I think we got to watch the signs. The style of my house, the style of my home is Craigslist free section. Slave diamond, 4-year-old, sending a hold to get powerful image. Well, see, Rob, and that's the thing, is when you have the image, then you can make a good decision. When you don't have the image, you can't make good decisions. It's like Pompeii, not Pompeii, Pompeii behind us, right? If you're in the party, in the festival, you're dancing to Augusta, he got his pictures up, you're throwing flies everywhere. You can't see the volcano. You don't see the explosions behind you. You don't see the lava. You don't see the fire bombs. You're just in there dancing. We love Augusta. We love Trump. We love Obama, Bernie. You know, you can't see, you don't see it. But when you think in your mind and you see that big diamond and you think about a child being sent down into a hole, when you look at your smartphone, and this is what I see. This is why I carry my smartphone till it's cracked, broken, destroyed, and it just doesn't work anymore. My last cell phone was so damn old that they were surprised it still worked on their network. And why I kept it, for the most part, is because when I look at cell phones, I look at small electronics, that's what I see. I see the children who were enslaved to get the coltan so I can live over here in a very privileged life. And so I never go for the upgrades. I'll replace my cell phone when I have to. I do my best to use these devices in solidarity. I'm staring at a couple of them, laptop, smart pad, and a phone. I use these devices best I can to try to give back to the people who are robbed to build them. But I think if you have that imagery in mind, if you have this imagery in mind, if you have the imagery of the future generation being buried under ash because we got Yellowstone Mountain here, the future being murdered because the poles always shift, the future being murdered because oligarchs control the nation, they don't give two damns about anybody in the nation or outside of it. If you can have that imagery, you know, when you're thinking about pulling that lever and voting for somebody, although here we don't really have a push, you can make a good decision. But they keep that from us. That's the whole purpose of the mainstream media. And that's why they say there's no separations between government and Hollywood. You know, they're just different departments of the same damn thing. I do want to show a little bit of Chris Hedges and then I'm going to get out of here. Only because it was so powerful and impacting yesterday. And these are the things. I think I posted and I think I gave it the title. Very rarely will I give it a title to something that this is something that everybody in the nation must watch. So I definitely got to play the interview. This is something that everybody in the nation must watch. I'm not going to play the whole thing. I'll play the intro to try to entice you to watch the whole thing. But when philosophers come forward and they say things that they explain to you how your nation works, you're supposed to listen. You're supposed to look at the signs so you can make a good decision afterwards. There we go, right here. A little bit of Chris.
No. Thank you, Jeremy. Chris Hedges is a Pulitzer Prize-winning journalist, formerly with the New York Times, now doing a TV show on RT. His latest book is called Wages of Rebellion, The Moral Imperative of Revolt.
Bueno, para empezar, quiero decir gracias, señor embajador y al pueblo de Ecuador en esta lucha con nosotros para la libertad y la democracia. Muchas gracias. As a former investigative reporter for the New York Times, this assault that has been carried out not only against Julian Assange, WikiLeaks, Chelsea Manning, has effectively shut down for the ability of the press to shine a light into the inner workings of power, and has essentially removed one of the most important mechanisms by which not only the public can be informed, but the government can be held accountable. And at this point, I think we have to acknowledge that we no longer live in a functioning democratic. We live in what the political philosopher Sheldon Wolin correctly calls inverted totalitarianism. And if you have not read Democracy Incorporated, read it. Our greatest living political philosopher, who died about a year ago, totally blacklisted in the 1990s when he called out the lie of neoliberalism for what it was. And he defines inverted totalitarianism as not classical totalitarianism. It doesn't define itself by a demagogue or a charismatic leader, but through the anonymity of the corporate state, so that you, like the end of the Roman Republic, have a system that purports to pay fealty to the Constitution, electoral politics, the iconography and language of American patriotism, and yet internally has seized all of the levers of power to render the citizen competent. And that's where we are. And the attack against Assange, and the attack against Chelsea Manning, and Edward Snowden, and Jeremy Hammond, and all the courageous people that have attempted to stand up and expose in this final battle the criminal activity of those who govern this country, presages unless we begin to resist. And by resist, that means sustained acts of mass civil disobedience. The descent into, as Julian says in his book, the most frightening and surveillance dystopia in human history. Of Edward Snowden to expose the fact that every single one of us in this room are monitored 24 hours a day, and all of our information is stored in perpetuity in government computers. Evidence that we have lost our liberty. When you are watched 24 hours a day by the government as we are, you cannot use the word liberty. That is the relationship of a master and a slave.
Yeah, that'll happen. Did I look serious, y'all? Did I look serious? I forgot what I said, but it was not right. I get emotional. I get into it. I had to pause it. I was, oh man, this master and slave relationship. If they got to know everything 24/7, I get into it, and all y'all heard was. Oh goodness gracious, that's why you gotta love it. You gotta love it. I can't, you know what, listen, you won't critique me anymore, I critique myself. I laugh all day long. They're like, you know what, the microphone ain't on, brother. You know, I know you upset about something. I know you wanna go. I know you wanna get going, get the wheels on that, get your feet on that tricycle, Gerard. You wanna get to going, but your mic is off, brother. Listen, nothing here. All right, so I forgot what I said. I'm sorry. I'm laughing at myself. I just like, y'all don't take yourself too seriously. Please don't. That's how you break a human being. When you start to take yourself seriously, you're no good to the whole damn planet. Laugh at yourself all the time, especially the older you get. All right, just for that, I'm gonna play a little more. I messed up. And I appreciate the ones of y'all who told me, by the way, because I got friends that tell me something and the rest they won't. They're like, because everybody got those friends, you got that little boogie hanging in your nose or something. You got a little crush right here, you got up in the morning, an armpit, you need a little more deodorant or lemon juice or something. They don't say nothing. They're like, no, I'm gonna let them go. I ain't say nothing. I got friends like that, like Dan. Did Daniel say anything? He probably didn't say anything. He just probably sat right back there, just like, nope, I'm gonna let him go. He'll figure it out. Just let him go. All right, so anyway. We'll play a little more. It's a very serious thing. But no, I was asking the question if you can hear it. If you can hear it. Because for me, it's cutting out. Like, they're I don't know if they reduce the bandwidth because they don't like people like Chris Hedges. Anytime this brother speaks and says some real powerful things, I always have to post it. And I appreciate you sharing, by the way. You know, because these are the things that people need. When you have someone who's a philosopher like this young man who's been to the war zones, he's been a journalist, he doesn't pick sides, he just says we need to evolve and become better. I'm playing a little more of him, and I'm gonna leave my mic on this time.
And as Hannah Arendt points out in Origins of Totalitarianism, the reason totalitarian governments, Solzhenitsyn writes the same thing in Gulag Archipelago, download information on all of the citizens is not to discover a crime. Have information on file so that the moment they seek to silence or arrest another individual, they can take the smallest minutia and interpret it as criminal activity. And what I find frightening is the passivity on the part of the American public. The inability to understand that when you give a government this kind of power, they will always use it against anyone or any movement or any group that they deem to be a threat. The fact that our government, our executive branch, has abrogated to itself by wildly misinterpreting the 2001 Authorization to Use Military Force Act to call for the assassination of U.S. citizens should send chills.
It should.
And yet we are lulled by a political system, a form of political theater. There's a reason they're spending $5 billion on these elections, reducing a contest to two repugnant personalities, as if it is possible in America to vote against the interests of Goldman Sachs or Raytheon or ExxonMobil or any other corporation.
As if you can actually vote for an oligarchy and never vote for the interests of corporate greed. As if you can go out and vote away an oligarchy, in which you can. What I love the fact that he kind of explained this, is that the political parties only serve one purpose, and it's to get you to see that there is no volcano. There's no volcano, there's no lava, there's no smoke, there's no problem. Keep voting, keep moving forward. Let's keep playing politics in a world being destroyed. Let's keep playing politics in a world destroying children. Let's keep playing politics. It'll get better. Just keep voting. That's the only purpose of the two parties, is to get people to believe and stay the course. It'll just get better, while everything is constantly getting worse and worse and worse.
And it behooves us to begin to look at the systems of power where real power lies. Because if we don't understand power, we're not going to be able to fight it.
If you don't understand power and you don't understand money, you'll never be able to fight it. If you don't understand power and what it does in your brain and what money does in your brain and your life, you'll never fight it. If you don't understand, if you don't understand what power truly is, that power truly is the ownership of resources, but power, how it corrupts, and it will corrupt you, because the same brain and all the identities, leaders' heads, the same brain and all the psychopaths' heads, the same brain in your head. What power actually does, you can't take apart, you can't take of it. We aren't evolved enough to have power over each other and money and control.
And we haven't even spoken about climate change. The last 13 months, every month, the hottest month on record. The elites have run scenario after scenario. They know a financial collapse is coming. They understand the catastrophic effects of climate change, and they have abrogated to themselves the mechanisms by which they can ruthlessly shut down all forms of dissent, including Section 1021 of the National Defense Authorization Act. And as many of you know, I sued the president in federal court over this section, which permits the U.S. military to seize a U.S. citizen who is deemed to be a terrorist or allied with a terrorist, associated forces, whatever that is in the word of the language, strip them of due process, and hold them indefinitely in military facilities, including in our Black Shore offsites. We won in the Federal District Court of New York. Judge Catherine B. Forrest, the Obama administration, immediately appealed the day that she issued her ruling. Not only the federal attorneys, but attorneys from the NSA went to her chambers and demanded that she lift her temporary injunction and immediately put that law back into effect. And the lawyers, Carl Mayer and Bruce Saffron and I, we knew they'd appeal, but why? Why were they so aggressive? They were so aggressive, we can only surmise, because they're already using the law. That they're already U.S., Pakistani dual nationals and of other countries being held, and if that injunction was allowed to stand, they could hold the federal government in contempt of court. They went to the Second Circuit. Monday morning, 9 o'clock, this was on a Friday, Judge Forrest refused their request, and the Second Circuit, which heard the appeal, agreed. And during that 2-year legal process, the lawyers went to Nancy Pelosi and the Democratic leadership, because the NDA is renewed every year. And they said, the lawyers said, all you have to do is put into that language that this does not apply to U.S. citizens, and we will drop our lawsuit.
That's it.
But of course they weren't going to put it in.
They went for the bigotry clause. They went for the bigoted American indifferent clause. Well, we just want to make sure it doesn't apply to American citizens. And the government refused. Why would they do that? Why would they want to inflict and keep the ability to suspend the Constitution and your Bill of Rights to enslave you? Why would they specifically, no, we're not interested in foreign nationalists. That's not the point. We don't really bother with them. We need to control the people. Why? We need to enslave them when we need to. Why would Obama administration do that? Because of what he said just prior to that, if you're not linking it together. They run every single scenario. There is no scenario where we do not hit a financial collapse. It is completely impossible. There is no scenario in which major devastation and calamity are not coming to the United States. And no one of your political parties has interest in even talking about it, let alone doing anything about it. But all their efforts, the vast majority of their resources are in controlling you and rolling out a police state with 5G and suspending your constitution and the ability, what did he slip in the NDAA, that everything that you own belongs to the federal government in a time of emergency. They can come in your house and take anything they want. They can come to your bunker or your escape, getaway, whatever, wherever you are trying to survive with your children because you're planning ahead of time and you're making sure you got rice for the depression and soup and cans and solar panels. They can come take any of it at any time because they're writing laws against you. They know that it's completely unavoidable. They built this. That's what you have when you have a fiat currency. You always go from democracy to tyranny. Plato said that there's no way to avoid it, and that's just simply where we are. And we need to act like this is where we are. We need to act like that's Mount Vesuvius behind us. Let me show you that real quick. We'll go back to Chris. We need to act like that is Mount Vesuvius, and it's blowing up, and there's smoke and fire coming out, and there's no financial analysts that are saying we get out of this. We don't get out of this without food lines, starvation, hunger, and mass poverty and mass crime. Why? Because when people are starving, they do whatever they have to survive. There's a direct relationship between poverty, joblessness, and crime. Why? Because people have to do crimes to eat, and they will. They don't know how to grow food, but they know how to steal, and that's what's coming. That's just the real picture, which is why they're doing everything to roll out a police state. And it's ugly, but it's real. And this is what we do here as adults. We look at the real ugly picture so we can make good decisions. And these are things that Assange was releasing on WikiLeaks. But of course, I'm sure he's CIA, so we can ignore all this and we can continue to do what we're doing.
Because it was written for U.S. citizens. They are creating and have largely created a mechanism, a series of mechanisms. They have removed our basic constitutional rights through judicial fiat. That's what Citizens United is, as if unlimited campaign cash from corporations is the right to petition the government or a form of free speech. Despite the evidence provided by Snowden, what have the courts done to protect our right to privacy? Nothing. And it is time for us to step outside the system. And as Jeremy correctly pointed out, grasp that we are going to have to build alternative forms of power and alternative political parties. And that this is going to take years. That to walk into the political wilderness means that we are going to escape from the idea that radical change will come within a particular election cycle. It will not. Syriza, formed 10 years ago, when it started was polling at 4%. And we have no time left.
None.
We have no time left.
To step outside of the system. And I've always appreciated when people who are a hell of a lot smarter than I am say things that I say. It makes me feel good. It means that I'm not too far from the mark. You can't beat monopoly. This is what I'm talking about when I talk about monopoly. You can't win monopoly. There's no winning monopoly. You've never won monopoly in your life. The banks win every single game. You've never won. Your brother didn't win. Your sister didn't win. Your friends didn't win. The banks win every single game. And you can't beat monopoly by playing monopoly. You can't beat a political system that's based in crime, murder, destruction, colonization, slavery, and denying rights by working within the system. There is no within the system in beating a corrupt system. You can't beat Parker Brothers at Monopoly. It's just not gonna happen. You gotta step outside the system. Everything you do outside the system.
Finally, it is about a moral imperative, which I think the lives of Edward Snowden, Jeremy Hammond, Julian Assange, Chelsea Manning, Kyriakou Drake, all these people have sacrificed a tremendous amount. And what we are called to sacrifice by comparison is rather minimal. The reason we have vomited up a figure like Donald Trump is because the Democratic Party sold itself out to corporate power. and betrayed working men and women and the poor in this country. They created Trump, and in particular the Clintons.
That's it.
The explosion of mass incarceration, the 1994 Omnibus Crime Bill.
It wasn't Russia. Russia didn't enslave millions of minorities and white kids. That was the Democratic Party. And they had a lot of help with the Republicans. So this is why I'm saying, this is why I got a lot of Trump friends. You know what? I saw I was at Garden Center the other day. I ran into a brother. He had a Trump shirt. I went up to go talk to him. Because I wanted him to, for one, it's like when I see a MAGA hat. I'll go talk to people. Why? Because I understand. I understand why a lot of people had felt no other choice than to vote for somebody completely what? Go ahead and say it. Go ahead and say it. Outside the system. Now, did it work? No, it didn't work. It didn't work. It didn't work because it can't work because he's still working within the system. But the point is, I understand that. Do you? Do you understand it wasn't Russians? Do you understand it wasn't racism? You understand that it was a corrupt Democratic Party, and there were people who saw that, and they had no other choice. They felt they had no other choice but to put him in. That Trump is a side effect. Now, there are people that worship him, and there are people that don't. There are people that worship Obama, and there are people that don't. There are people that are worshiping Bernie right now, and people that don't. But then there are people who get that we can't keep doing the same thing and expect a different result. You can't keep putting lawyers and politicians in political offices and expect something to change. So now, hopefully, the next evolution we have in the intellect and folks like this who are anti-establishment is we have to listen to Chris Hedges and the philosophers of our day explaining to us and the Jimmy Carters that we don't have a democracy. We need to stop acting like we have it. I appreciate this brother.
NAFTA, the greatest betrayal of the working class in this country since the Taft-Hartley Act of 1948. The deregulation of the FCC, the destruction of Glass-Steagall, the destruction of our welfare system, and under the old welfare system, 70% of the recipients were children.
70%.
And I think as Jeremy amply illustrated with this particular sit down in the House, is an example of the deep cynicism and duplicity of the Democratic Party. And so we are going to have to walk into that political wilderness. We are going to have to accept the ridicule, which will come largely from the liberal class, the liberal establishment. That, as Chomsky points out, is why a liberal class exists. It questions the foibles of the system, but never the system itself, never the virtues of the system, or even the virtues of those who manage the system. And once you expose the motives and the desires and the greed and the corruption of those within that system, the liberal establishment silences you and marginalizes you. And that's what we're going to have to accept. That's what we're going to have to do. And we have no time left to fool around. Thank you.
No time left to fool around. No time left to play Democrat, Republican. Yeah, he hit hard on the Democrat, but he hit on the Republicans too, if you listen. So no, it's not just the Democrats, and it's not the Democrats or the Republicans. It's the system. If you're really listening to what, because sometimes people hear it and all they hear is their side being criticized. They're not listening to the message where it's the system. The system is the problem. You can't solve the problem within the system because it's not actually a problem for the system. The system was designed this way. Do some comments and I'm gonna run out of here. Gotta get going. We are a mass nation of zombies. Yes, Amy, and thank you for sharing. We absolutely are. We are a zombie. We are zombies. And don't take me to Cranberries. I was listening to the Cranberries the other day. Yeah, oh, we some zombies. We are zombie. That is us. We are just the walking dead. We are literally the walking dead. because they indoctrinate people to not think for themselves. And absolutely, by the way, Ish, the Constitution has already been suspended. It was suspended a very long time ago. And outside of that, there were multiple ways, not just admiralty law, but 1913, right? 1933 and the NDA. There are multiple ways the Constitution and the Bill of Rights were suspended. So even if you take one of those out, you still have multiple laws and multiple types of legislation that check and balance the fact that Americans are not free. They're all slaves imprisoned by their government. That's just the reality. It's ugly. They hit it in multiple ways. They make sure that they check off. Remember, these people are so much that they think ahead of us. These international bankers that own our nation, they're way ahead of us. Stop victimizing victims. Absolutely, Miss T, and we got to get rid of the victim mentality. Hashtag wake up. We need to wake up. We're very sleepy. We're zombies. We need to wake the hell up. Wake the hell up. We don't, like you said, we don't have a lot of time. And so that was it was a little bit of a longer than I thought. I forgot, it was like 8 minutes. But it's Chris Hedges. You got it. You have to listen to the people who are thinking ahead of you. And Chris Hedges is so far ahead of me, it's just not even funny. He saw this coming. He's wrote multiple books on this. He already saw it coming a long way ahead. Oldest trick in the book, the old bait and switch. Look over here, I'm over here. Smoke and mirrors, the sleight of hand. Exactly, Victoria, and that's what they do. Sleight of hand. They don't want people focusing on anything real, so they keep giving them, you know, food that feeds their indoctrination. Continue to vote. You're this political party. The other guys are the bad guys. We're okay. Yeah, I posted it yesterday. Somebody said, thank you, Rebecca. Yeah, I'll post it again. Every time we play a video, I post it on the feed. Takes me a little bit. Not the quickest hand in the West. I'm not the fastest ship in the sea, but I always post the links on here so you can take them and share them, so you can share the link out. You don't have to share the video. Some people can jump in and do this, some people don't. They just want to see the content, so I always share the content. Let me see, it doesn't matter. They're all puppets. Lori, they're all puppets. Every last one of them. We've got to stop cheering the puppet show. Uneducated, uninformed people will make poor choices, right? And you know what? And the funny thing, Tina, is they can be highly educated, but if they're uninformed, they're going to make poor choices too. They can be informed, but if they're uneducated, they still can make good decisions. There's a failing in that, and the failing is the informed part, which is why WikiLeaks is so important. Not WikiLeaks as the actual site, and not Assange as the actual person, the identity, but the system that tries to withhold information from people. Anybody that's trying to withhold information from you is not your friend. They're not on your side. The fact that Obama would write a propaganda act, it's not on your side. Not on your side. Might be your color. He might have the same fur as you and the same religion as you, might be the same political party as you, but he works for somebody else because he's trying to keep information out of your head. And again, not a hit on him. It's just the system. It's how it works. I personally don't think he was given a choice, and I don't think Trump was given a choice. I think we're given choices, and we're the only ones who can actually fix it. And people don't think we know who the culprits are. It's funny, Alan. Well, I think a lot of people know. I think they just don't want to admit it anymore. I think people they're so gaslit and indoctrinated and scared that it's easier to be a coward. It's easy to be a coward and just pick a 2020 and go vote. It's just, and I'm not saying you're a coward if you pick a 2020. I'm just saying that Chris Hedges says we don't have a lot of time. The financial analysts say we don't have a time. The elites and the way they're acting around the world with the police state are acting like we don't have a lot of time. Everyone's acting like we don't have a lot of time. So I don't think we really have time to continue to play this 2020 game. I think we got to step out of that. So not everybody who's got a 2020 is a coward, but you damn sure ain't stepping up, looking at the volcano and pointing for people saying, look, you need to do that. Look at the damn volcano. Look, stop dancing. Turn the music off. All right, let me see. Clinton shed their welfare rolls. Yes, they did. But not only that, Lori, but they built prisons while they shut off the welfare. They shut off the welfare, they built the prisons, and they increased the laws through the crime bill, and they increased policing. They basically set people up and they threw them in prison. They starved them and they threw them in prison for it. That, to me, that's worse than slavery. That's not even slavery. Slavery, they just went over there and grabbed people, threw them in boats, threw them in some chains. They took away what people needed, and 70% of the people at the time were children on welfare. They took it away and they built enough prisons to put them all in, and they put the police on the streets to make sure they got them. I have no idea why anybody is a Democrat. It boggles my mind. But then again, the same token, I have no, because the Republicans didn't stop them. Republicans didn't stop them at all. In fact, where Clinton got it from, he actually got it from the Republicans. The whole neoliberalism stuff and the tough on crime nonsense, the uneducated, immature, de-evolved, violent concept that you can actually be tough on crime and you can fix hate with hate, you can solve violence with violence. And he got that. He beat the neoliberals, who at the time the liberals were the Republicans, and he beat them at it. He beat the hell out of them at it. That's how you know you got a psychopath. And this is why none of the names matter. None of the names and identities matter. They all do the same damn thing. The us and them ideology does not work. Right, Tina? It doesn't work for us. But us and them, it works for them. whoever the themers are, right? Whoever the people who create the others and they give everybody their avatar and get them to play, it works with our owners. It worked great for them. It's great and delicious. For us, not so much. For our kids, it's really gonna suck, assuming that we're actually still around. I just heard the Tooth Fairy sent some nefarious emails to Santa. Now we're... Oh my God, Stacey, what's wrong with you? Victoria, follow the money. At all times, follow the money. Always follow the money. Always trust where the money goes. Always follow the money. It's definitely escalating, not much time. It's escalating-ish and they're getting desperate. I mean, you look at 5G, you got doctors yelling and screaming about 5G. To me, that's a good sign. It's a good sign of the time. It's a good hint. It's a good hint that you need to turn the music down. Turn the music down. Stop dancing and singing to Augustus and stop dancing and singing to the gods. This isn't going to be for you. And that's a great sign of the time. It's 5G. The fact that the doctors are saying, don't do this. The scientists, the entomologists, don't do this. Testifying. And it's not stopped. And I think one state or one county stopped 5G, or they're trying to, but federally they're pushing harder. They're getting desperate because they need to control people. And if I'm allowed to be a conspiracy theorist, my IT mind will tell you it's because they need swarming robots, and they can't do that without 5G. They need something. They need order followers that will follow any order, right? They need people to stand in line in the food lines. They need people to be happily starved to death. And you can't do that without 5G. You can't get swarming robots to control people. And police are people. Police have hearts. Police, they have grandmothers, they have mothers, they have daughters, they have kids. A robot has nothing but orders. That's why they push on it. That's why they push on it. And I think that's a great sign of the times, the way automation is always being used to control people and murder people. And the whole NDAA and the thing he just went through, Obama, and suspending that, the ability to detain Americans specifically, should tell you everything that you need to know. Everything that you need to know. Yes, Tina, if we don't come together, it's going to be the end, and the end is going to hurt. There are no others we need to unite and organize. No. There are no others, yes, that we need to organize and unite. Right, Victoria, because when there are others, they won't unite, right? They won't organize with us because they're others. When we see everybody as family, in which we are, when we see that we all in together, there are no others, there's only us. And then people unite with that. But if you carry that label and you carry that barcode and you're a Democrat and you expect the Republicans to line up with you, you're crazy as the day is long, because that indoctrination runs deep. If you're a Republican and you carry the label and you want to go align with Democrats, it's just not going to happen, because the indoctrination is just embedded in their very, very bones and soul. We're just one, somebody just said. We are one, is that Victoria? We're just one. And when you act like you're one, people will treat you like you're one. But when you act like you're on this side, and you got this pride and whatever, then we're all gonna die. Who has a ham two-way radio with loved ones who also do? You know, Deborah, I still got mine. I still, but that's old. I don't know if that thing works anymore. I might have to go spit on the crystals or something, spit on them, shine them or something. I still got a walkie-talkie from a kid and a two-way radio, a ham rig, but you have to have it. But I think nowadays, because I remember back then you needed ham radio operator license for certain power. be able to broadcast a certain distance. And so I think that you still have that. But it's a good idea to stay in contact. But all that stuff now, they can jam all that. And like, I think they saw that coming a long ways ahead. I'm sure they can jam and just flood the radio waves with just noise and static or whatever, so you actually can't communicate. They want to control everything. They want to censor everything. They want to control all the information, you know, whether it's mass media, social media, radio, they want to control everything. They want to control all the information that goes in your brain so they can make everybody clones like they are now. That whole divide and conquer. As long as they can keep people divided and scared of each other, the kings will continue to rule. And that's what they want. So I think we need to think ahead of what their strategies always are. Right now, not supporting the system, completely outside of the matrix. That's where we need to be. I have to whistle blow on a doctor today. Wish me strength. I wish you strength, Lori, and you're doing the right thing. Whistleblowers make the world go round. People who are like supporting, keeping secrets is crazy. Politicians can't have any more secrets. Governments can't have any more secrets. Corporations should not have any more secrets. Why? Because they're democide. They're the #1 killers of their citizens and always have been. It's time we stop this government experiment and build something that's more facilitative, something that's more human life focused, that doesn't murder children happily, apathetically, with a whole bunch of supporters that will go and march right along with it and not give a damn. Research Bilderberg, absolutely. What is it? A whole bunch of them, Alan, right? Need to research Bilderberg. Need to research the Council of Foreign Relations. In fact, Corbett has a great video. I don't know if it's great. Yeah, I know it's great because I didn't even see it yet. I said that. It's great. It's great because of Corbett. He did a great video. I think I got a notice last night that he has a video out on the Council of Foreign Relations. So fake news. So we need to look at that. I'm gonna look at that later on today. Once your eyes are open, it's like a spell is broken. It is, Victoria. You can't close them again. Once your eyes are open and you see the matrix, then you're not pushed around. You're not run amok. You can see these things coming. The anti-Assange thing or the worship Assange thing. You start to say, no, it's just the system. It's just the system. Oppose the principality of secrets. Oppose the power in giving government all power, because all governments have always used all power. They're not your friend. They're not supposed to be. They're a system. You might have nice politicians, but that's not the system. It's the system that's the problem. We the 99% blood and body of the 0.01%. We are the 99.9%, and it's getting smaller. The 0.1% is going to go move down to the 0.01%. But we are all one. We're all united. We're united. We stand. Divided we fall. That's as true today as it always was. The uneducated don't complicate right from wrong. No, they don't. No, they don't. They don't have a reason to, do they, Susan? Right? The uneducated, if you don't have a big corporate job, making big corporate money, and a lifestyle based in slavery and destruction, robbery, murder, in a very nice way, because you look pretty and you got nice things. Oh, what did Susan post the other day? Susan, what did you post the other day? Susan posted something I had to post. It was awesome. I was posting stuff from everybody yesterday. I was all excited. I was going through the comments. I was like, oh my God, you gotta be kidding me. I was just posting away there like, he ain't gonna stop it. No, he ain't gonna stop. Just let him go. Like Brother Daniel and me when my mic is off. He gonna let him go. I was like, oh my gosh, you know, and it's just. And Tanya posted something great yesterday too. What did she say? She said, just because you have more IOU, no, that's not. She said, just because you have more promissory notes in the bank, don't make you better than me. Just because you got more promissory notes in the bank, don't make you better than me. No, it doesn't. And with the funny thing, Tanya, it makes them dumber than you. It makes you so much dumber. Promissory notes. A nation that doesn't even have, so poor, it ain't got its own money. A government so beggingly homeless and jobless, so that they don't have their own money. They don't have real money. It's fiat currency and promissory notes and IOUs, but because they got more, they're better than you, no? But she just said they got more than you, so they're more beholden to the system. They believe more in the IOUs, and they'll sell out more people because they got more. Let me see. Stacy Holden just tweeted, there's an eyeball on your currency. Why? Why is there an eyeball on the pyramid? Good question. Love you all. All right, Amy, we love you too. All right, let's get out of here. Cowards are culprits. We are all complicit. Yeah, cowards are culprits. We're all complicit. And I think if we just accept that medicine, Rebecca, like take your own medicine. And when I go old saying, gotta take your medicine, gotta take your own medicine, we're all complicit. We either want to stop being complicit or we want to continue on with it. We need to take our medicine. Brought cocaine in? Ooh, Lori, okay. But I don't, you know what, I kind of don't touch that because there are a lot of things I don't know about cocaine, Lori. Like the Egyptians, we found cocaine in the tombs, right? Or remnants of the cacao and then the coca plant. So we know cocaine is medicinal to some degree, so I don't touch it. What I'd say, people need to medicate themselves and make their own choices. I just don't make their own choice. I don't make choices for them. And sometimes cocaine and all of these drugs can be medicating for different psychological conditions. I mean, we've been using this stuff for thousands of years, and so I just think we need to stay in our own spaces, and that's what I try to do. Called people super predators? Yes, she did. She called them, while she was the super predator, while she worked with super predators, she called them super predators and restarted slavery. There are power plays going on daily, all day long, Victoria, because they keep people jumping back and forth. The film being screened tonight on Putney VT Public Library is 5G Apocalypse and Extinction Event. Woo! It's on YouTube too. Thank you, Deborah. Please post the link for that. I do want to watch that. That does not sound like conspiracy theory. It sounds like what the doctors are saying. It sounds like what the entomologists are saying. It sounds like what the biologists are saying. It sounds like what a lot of people are saying that we need to focus on. And the fact that they're not slowing it down after all these warnings mean that they don't care about me. I'm a wave energy. I don't think they should be rolling out something that can destroy and hurt and create cancerous cells in something that is a wave energy. All right, let me get down to the bottom. Somebody got a last comment to roll out of here. When I share videos like Chris Hedges' speech, none of my friends watch it. They will never wake up. No, Ivana, they won't. They won't. They just, because nobody wants to see the truth. They don't want to see the volcano, Ivana. Like, Ivana's posting like, volcano and fire and death and destruction. And they're like, oh, I don't want to see that. That's not what I want to see. Augusta. Play the music. Turn the music up. Ivana's posting something. Turn the music up. I don't want to see that. But we got to post it anyway. That's just how it goes. And sometimes people will watch it, but they won't like it. They won't do anything with it. But we don't have a choice. We have to talk about truthful things. And if we don't make it, at least the content is there. It's not like we didn't know. It's not like somebody didn't warn. It's not like somebody didn't go to Pompeii. Like when it happened, somebody said, hey, y'all, it's a volcano. y'all might want to, Augusta even dead 65 years now. And the volcano, I'm not sure that God is what you think it is. And it's kind of hot, the oven. I think we should get on the boats and get out of here. And that's what you do. All you can do is you can tell people and you can prepare yourself for the realities that always come. But you can lead a horse to water, but you can't make them drink it. And I think that's natural. I think it's natural, but I think that's just how it works. Some people survive, some people don't. There's always cullings of the human race. And there are just some people, unfortunately, that probably shouldn't procreate. I know it sounds ugly, but it's natural law. That's just how it works, how nature works. The strongest and the smartest will survive. The dumbest, the most gaslit, and those trusting of the elites and the ruling power and money, they really probably, I don't know, maybe they shouldn't move on. Maybe they don't have the capacity to understand the things that you do. But we all got friends and family like that. But like Rebecca said above, there are people who are too cowardly to look. It's a scary. I mean, look at that volcano. Is that like kind of scary to you? I can see where cowards would want to see that. I can see where they'd want to keep their blinders on, which is okay. You're not a coward. So keep rolling with it. That's all you can do. Keep rolling with it. Some people stick, some people won't, and some won't look at all. But I'm sure everything will play out the way it's supposed to. All right, I got to get out of here. Resistance is organized in secrecy or in privacy. That's why we have a very, very little. We have very, very little privacy, if any at all. I don't think we have any privacy at all, Rebecca. I think they're always listening. They've got They have satellites that can listen. They have satellites that track you by your hair. They have satellites that track you by the way you walk. They have satellites that track you by your car. And it all fits together in databases. 24/7, they're watching everybody do everything. And it's not because they're your friend. Right. So I don't think there's any privacy at all. That's why I think it takes everybody to fix this. Some people say it takes 10%. I don't know anything about that. I just think that we need to wake up as many people as we can and change this model, because it's not going to go well for the human race. Yes, Ellen, the gulag awaits. And I don't know if does the gulag await, or we just getting in the gulag? We're like, we already got 2 feet in. We're trying to get all up in the gulag. I don't even know what the gulag is. The gulag one of them things in the Tower of London? I have to look it up. I forgot what the gulag is, but the gulag ain't a good thing. It's like it's like the volcano. I don't need to know what a pyroclastic flow is. I don't need to know that. I see that. It looks hot like an oven. And as a child, when I was cooking, I burned myself a lot. I don't want that on me. And so, because I don't want that oligarchy stuff, see all stuff, this is all stuff, it's oligarchy, it's just everywhere. I don't want none of that on me. I don't want it on my children. I don't want it in my nation. I don't want it on my planet. Human children live on this planet. I don't want none of that on me. And it's just simple like that. Just that simple. All right, I gotta get going. We got a last comment so we can run. Susan's been nailing it lately. What you got? Humans are the caretakers of Earth. We stop caring for her, and in turn stop caring for ourselves. When you have a spiritual connection to something, you don't give it away so easily. That's it, Susan. And that's that anti-coward thing. And humans are the caretakers of Earth. And because we're the caretakers of our environment, it means we're the caretakers of each other. It means we're the caretakers of each other's children. And that's who we are, and that's what we're supposed to be doing. Then I'm gonna add to that in terms of caretaking, because you just reminded me of something. Ooh, let's say this one, because it might jerk one. It might jerk one. It was beautiful. It was beautiful. Toledo, Ohio. There was a teenager stealing from a 7-Eleven. He was stealing junk food for his little brother, for himself, because they had no food in the house. And the store owner caught him. Actually, the employees and the store owner stepped in and stopped him. And the teenager explained that I was just trying to get some food for my little brother and for myself. And the store owner, the 7-Eleven owner, said, "That's not food." Because he stopped. He wasn't going to call the police. He decided not to call the police and talk to the boys. And he said, "That's not food, that's junk food. You want food? I've got food." And he gave the little kid a pizza and some sausage and some drinks and something else to take home. Who does that? Who does that? Humans do that. That's who we are. That is who we are, and that's the only way we survive. That is who we are. That's the culture I was raised in. That's who my family has always been, and I'm not going to let your education take it from me. I'm not going to let college take it from me. I'm not going to let your Democrats, your Republicans, your tribalism, your psychopathy, I'm not going to let anything take that from me. When people come to you and they look for food, that's what you do. That's who we are. Listen, Gerard, I got to go. Love y'all to death. Y'all have a great day. Feed people, love people, clothe people, be a people. Always watch for the signs and prepare for them. Otherwise, we're going to end up looking the way we don't want to. We'll end up being a sign for the next generation or the next evolution of humanity. And a great example of who not to be. Have a great day.